Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Bud Hertzog Stadium. The Tigers tonight facing off against the Park Hill South Panthers. The final game from Bud Hertzog Stadium, at least that's what we believe at this point, for the year. So we've appreciated everybody that's tuned in so far to this point in the year. We appreciate those of you who are here now. We hope to bring you smooth coverage tonight with no errors in terms of technical issues or whatever other fun things we like to have happen to us up here in this booth sometimes. But enough about us, enough about our stream or whatever. We'll get started talking about the game here. So the 5-2 Park Hill South Panthers, the 2-5 Lee Summit High School Tigers. Heisey, what do you got for us here pregame?
Well, Jordan, the last game.
Matter of fact, I'm going to interrupt you. We'll go down to Lauren Holdemeyer pregame, and then we'll talk a little bit more after she's done. So we'll see you guys in just a moment.
Thanks, guys. A challenge is upon the Lee Summit Tigers for tonight's conference matchup against the Park Hill South Panthers. Last week, we saw a back-and-forth game between Lee Summit and Raytown, but the Tigers took a loss, bringing their record to 2-5. The Park Hill South Panthers are currently undefeated in the Suburban Red League. Lee Summit defense is crucial tonight as the Panthers have scored 149 points in just 7 games. Sophomore Briggs Bartosh may be a threat to Lee Summit's defensive lineup, scoring 11 touchdowns and 66 points for Park Hill South this year. In order to pass their close opponent, the 3-4 Staley Falcons, and reclaim their second-place position in the league, tonight's game is a must-win for the Lee Summit Tigers. This is Lauren Holdmeyer reporting for Tiger Broadcast. Back to you in the booth.
All righty, 0-0 the score, first quarter. 12 minutes just about to be put on the clock here. Heisey, what do you got for us here that maybe wasn't talked about, or just a little refresher here for those that may have forgotten anything?
Well, Jordan, in the Tigers' last game this a week ago, Friday night, me and you were up here calling the game, and the Tigers really struggled to defend their run. Raytown threw the ball a total of about 5 times, and the Tigers really struggled, so they got to be on top of that tonight because you bet the Panthers are going to try to exploit that in the Tigers' defense.
Panthers will catch the opening kickoff here in the end zone, so an automatic touchback there. Park Hill South starting their drive on the 20-yard line. That was Eric Avery that grabbed hold of it. And again, because of that rule at the high school level, he's not able to go anywhere. Sliding open the window, that's what that noise was for anyone that may have caught it. Again, 12 minutes put on the clock. Tigers were able to beat Park Hill South last year.
I feel like it's a tradition every Friday night, Jordan, to slide open the window. It's something that we always have to do.
One we have to mention for those of the people that may have forgotten it. They'll fake a jet sweep. The plan was to go up the middle. Play is whistled dead here before it even really gets a chance to start. And already we've got a false start here against the Panthers, so good sign for the Tigers. The yellow flag thrown once already here.
Definitely a good sign early, Jordan. We remember the last game. In the last game, the Tigers really struggled. They were jumping off sides left and right, so that's a good sign that the Panthers are the ones missed time in their snap early on.
Nathan Rico, the quarterback for the Panthers. Pass comes to the left-hand side to Gage Warren. It was caught. A gain of about 5 or 6 there. Brooks Ratliff in there on the tackle for the Tigers. 2nd and 7 now for Park Hill South. Rico fakes a handoff here, looks to the left-hand side. He's got the same target. It was overthrown out of bounds. Again, target Gage Warren, a little overthrown.
So 2 straight pass plays, Jordan, early on from the Panthers.
We didn't see that much last week, did we?
We did not. That's almost half of the amount of pass plays we saw last week in the Tigers' opponent, the Raytown Blue Jays. So definitely the Tigers early on, obviously, definitely a change of look on the defensive side. But here we go, 3rd down. We might see another pass play here from the Panthers.
3rd and 7, dropping back to pass left-hand side. It was underthrown that time to Eric Avery. He had to dive back for it, and already the Tigers have forced 4th and 7. So good look here for the Tigers to start the night defensively for sure. a welcome sight after giving up 40 last week to Raytown.
Exactly, Jordan. And the Tigers didn't get a lot of, pass coverage plays last week, as we mentioned, many times already. Raytown preferred to run the ball, but the Tigers always have looked good in the pass game.
Here's the punt. They will turn an almost 90-degree angle and go directly out of bounds. So not going to give Nate Morse any chance to try to bring one back. The Tigers playing in the pink out uniforms tonight, obviously for breast cancer awareness. So there's going to be a couple of different numbers. So if we misspeak at first, we'll try to correct ourselves. And if you think maybe we've caught one wrong, again, there's a couple of Tigers here with different numbers on the backs and fronts of their jerseys. So it'll probably confuse all of us, really.
And, them all having, different numbers. It's obviously, in the long run, they're wearing the pink out uniforms, breast cancer awareness. It's a great cause. It's every year. It's something that Eric Thomas loves to do for the program. And like I said, it's a great cause.
Nate Morse in motion here pre-snap. Tommy Locke in the backfield. He'll hand it off to Jalen Johnson. He's got a little hole up the middle there. And he'll pick up, I believe, about 7 yards on the play. So a nice run for the Tigers to open up the night. I saw Nyseem Brewer, if that was a pass play, wide open in the middle of the field. He was a threat last week for sure. 3 scores and a lot of big plays in there. He was huge for that Tiger offense a week ago. 2nd and 3, he's going to fire a bullet over to Nate Morse. He's got some space and down inside the 20. 10:45 left on the clock, and the Tigers have some steam here starting this ball game off tonight.
Look at this, a minute 15 seconds in, Jordan. The Tigers are looking great out here. They're looking like the team that's 5-2, not 2-5. Tigers already looking to score just over a minute into the game.
Landon Shepard here at quarterback, one of those players with a different number. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's got some space up the middle there. He's going to create a little hole, dive right through it, and pick up about 8.
And that was great play design. They sent Nate Morse in motion at the snap, and obviously Nate Morse is a player you want to contain as much as possible, so that I'm sure flocked a ton of eyes from the Panthers defense, and it turns out it was just a simple dive up the middle. Great play design, and that's obviously exactly what you want to see from this Tigers offense.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in the half. They'll fake a handoff on a sweep. It's Landon Shepard into the end zone, and a touchdown for the Tigers to start the night. That was one of those ones where I had to double check and make sure that I wasn't calling the wrong name, that the right person had the ball, and it was indeed Landon Shepard. And I think good thing for the Tigers, Park Hill South was just as confused as I was. 6 points on the board for Lee Summit.
And Jordan, I don't know if you saw, they sent Nate Morse in motion again. It was basically the same play design, and this time Landon Shepard, the big, strong guy who took the snap, just takes it simply up the middle, and he can't be stopped. I love that play calling from the Tigers early on, and what a way to start the game.
Kick here is up and through the uprights, so the Tigers with 7 here. And we're less than 2 minutes in. They have forced a 3-and-out and marched down the field and scored. This is a much different looking Tigers team than we've seen earlier on in the year for sure.
Yeah, and I love it, Jordan. And the Tigers in some games this season have struggled to put some points on the board. They've already scored more points than they did against Lee Summit West in their first home game here. And obviously, like I said, the play design, I know I keep going back to that, but when you're the Tigers offense and you have so many weapons, you have Nate Morse, you have Landon Shepard, Mr. Consistent. Sometimes you have Max Weisner out there. You have so many different weapons, and you got to utilize those. And in that case, they simply just scared the Panthers defense by throwing Nate Morse in motion. And I think if they can continue to basically show, hey, we have all these guys, they really can put a lot of points on the board tonight.
Well, put a lot of points on the board is what they did last year for sure. 45-35, the final score. The Tigers edging that one out away. Scene's a little different here. They've got a home game with not many people in the stands. Obviously, if you don't know what's going on, there is a pandemic surrounding just about everybody right now. So limited stands here, but the Tigers making the most of it here at home to start the night. Troy Huffman ready to kick it off once again. And the big leg of Huffman will get right back inside the end zone there. I think he's trying to pin it back to about the 1 where they have to return it. But he's landed it about a yard deep both times. So unfortunate placing, but the Tigers don't really have anything to complain about at this point.
And Jordan, the last time we saw the Panthers offense come out, obviously, was really short-lived possession, 3-and-out. Great job by the Tigers defense last time around, but we saw 3 straight pass plays, and I think this time around the Panthers, I think it'd be smart of them to, have a run on this first down. Obviously, the Tigers really struggled last week against the run. You just think that that's what the Panthers would maybe try to do to start their drive here.
They'll hand it off up the middle to Alvarez, and there's the Tiger defense once again, stuffing it immediately.
Great job by the Tigers there to close all the gaps, and obviously the Tigers defense so far not showing the Panthers anything. When the Panthers try to throw the ball, everyone's covered. When the Panthers try to run the ball, all the gaps are closed, and early on the Tigers defense looking like an NFL type defense out here.
This is not one that we've seen from Lee Summit to this point, and they are shocking everybody right now. Man in motion here pre-snap. Believe that's Andrews. Snap, dropping back to pass. A man right in his face. It's Max Wisner, the recent D1 commit to Missouri. Shutting that one down before it ever got started. Nathan Rico had nowhere to go.
And we forgot to mention on defense, a player that you always have to be watching is Max Wisner on the outside there. He just simply cut in and just fooled the whole offensive line. I'm sure they were thinking he was going to hook around there, but he just shot right inside and got a clear shot at the quarterback and brought him down in the backfield. And look at this, 3rd down and 20. Will the Tigers force another 3 and out? Jordan, I'm loving this so far.
This is an entertaining one for sure. It's a surprise to me. Again, if numbers tell any story, the Panthers should be coming out here and having their way. But that's not the way it's looked so far. The Tigers will stop that run. It was a solid one, but pushed back to 3rd and 20. It's not going to make much difference. The Panthers are going to have another 3 and out.
And we're about to see the 4th possession of the game here. And we're not even 4 minutes into the game. And here we are. We have Nate Morris back deep to return for the Tigers. Obviously, we've talked about him enough this season, how big of a threat he is. Makes you think, are the Panthers just going to try to kick this one out again?
They'll do that same thing, turn, give it a pretty hard angle to the right-hand side of the field. It'll land in play this time, but the Panthers will down it at about the 48 in Tiger territory. Again, 7-0 our score, 8:07 on the clock. The Tigers back with the ball. They managed to score in less than a minute last time around. And things look pretty good right now for Lee Summit. This football team, again, struggled to this point in the year, but they seem to have figured something out to this point in the ball game. Shepard here with a little pitch to the outside. It's Jalen Johnson around the right-hand edge. He's got some space and gets the first down for Lee Summit and about an extra yard to add on to it. So Lee Summit into Panther territory once more at the 41-yard line.
Great Tiger offense so far, and once again, the play design was fantastic. I know I keep going back to that, but Max Wisner was lined up on the outside. He went in motion and went inside to help with the blocking job, and man, Jalen Johnson just had a big hole to run there. That was a great job by the Tigers, basically clearing a path for him, and here we go again, the Tigers in Panthers territory.
Locke going to turn a little screen pass over to Shepard. Breaks one tackle, one grabs him around the ankle, and the other one gets him from up top. He gets right back around to the line of scrimmage or so. So it'll be 2nd and about 10 for the Tigers still.
And last time around, Jordan, I remember you had a line saying the broadcast curse is real. We sometimes said things before they happened, and I hope I'm right when I say that we're going to see a Jalen Johnson touchdown on this drive. I'm just feeling that. I don't know about you, but with the way the Tigers are blocking so far, their run game looks really strong.
Man in motion is Shepard. Handoff goes to Johnson, and I think the Panthers might have heard you. They're going to stuff that one in the backfield. A loss of about 4, and the Tigers are pushed back to the 45 here. 2nd and quite a ways to go, or 3rd and quite a ways to go. About 3rd and 14 to be exact.
It was technically a broadcast curse. It was not good for the Tigers. I did kind of curse them.
That's what we call a jinx there, Heisey. You'll learn. You'll learn.
Obviously, Mr. Jordan Wood, our 4-year veteran up here, calling the game tonight. Last time up here, Jordan, yeah.
It's crazy. Feels weird.
Hopefully the Tigers can pull a win out for you tonight.
I would love it. I can't lie to you. 3rd and 14, Locke dropping back to pass. He's got a man to the right-hand side. It was Anthony Wilson, but he's hit like a truck from behind as soon as he caught it. Nowhere to go that time around. And that was a big tackle by Alano Alvarez.
It was a good, strong throw there from Locke to just get it in there to Wilson basically as quick as he could, and Wilson was able to make the catch. Just obviously, as we saw, the Panthers just right there, good defense, and I wonder what we're going to see here from the Tigers. It might be doing that little pooch punt with Landon Shepard here.
That or they're trying to throw some sort of wildcat formation. They're going to call a timeout here. Maybe the Panthers have done their homework, and because they've called a timeout, we'll call one here in the booth as well. We'll see you guys in just a moment.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
We're back, 5:51 left. I told you we would return, and we have. Tigers back in the same formation that we saw prior to the timeout. It's Shepard and Johnson in the backfield, just trying to probably get someone to jump offside there.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, Jordan, and it's obviously smart from the Tigers. They might not be snapping this ball at all.
And someone went. They got him.
Look at that, Jordan. Look at that.
You know, I always make a joke when they get someone to jump offside. I say, why don't more coaches just have the play where they pick up the free 5 yards? And that's exactly what Lee Summit did there. And it worked. Oftentimes, you'll see a little more discipline there, but it'll still be, nope, they're going to say it's first down.
And that's great looks for the Tigers. Jordan, you and I last week, we were getting really frustrated as the Tigers, and I'm sure the Tigers were obviously very frustrated as well. They kept jumping off sides and giving Raytown a few free first downs, and here we go. The Tigers just did that exactly here, forcing the Panthers to jump offside, and you just got to be smarter if you're the Panthers because, Jordan, I really don't think that the Tigers had any intent to have any offensive threat there whatsoever.
4th and 5, they were not going for it any step of the way there, and they still get the first down. Tommy Locke looking to pass left-hand side. Dropping down to his knees and making the grab is Anthony Wilson. And another first down for the Tigers. They'll keep those chains moving. I like what I'm seeing, Blake.
I do as well, and Tommy Locke was hit as he basically threw that ball and was still able to get it right in there. Another first down, and the Tigers, once again, knocking on the door of the Park Hill South defense. Just, let's see, are they right on the 20-yard line? Looks like they are indeed in the red zone.
Right there on the edge of it, if not inside of it. Locke and Johnson still the two in the backfield. Morse going in motion. We saw this look earlier. He tried to fire one over the middle to Shepard. Pass was batted down there by Jamari Westbrook. And a nice job that time by the Panthers. That's the first time the Tigers have not looked very good on a play aside from the Shepard run that was blew up in the backfield.
Yeah, now that you mention that, Jordan, I really do think the Tigers, if you were just looking at this football game and analyzing it really play by play and saying who was the better team on this play, I think the Tigers really almost every single play up to this point. And that's not just me being biased. I think they have really been the better team almost every play until that play right there.
They'll hand it off to Morse on the jet sweep. I was surprised again that he was the one with the ball. I think he got about 5, but a flag was thrown in the backfield. And it's going to be holding against the Tigers. So 5:10 on the clock. Tigers will back up a little bit further.
Another little unsuccessful play there for the Tigers, but as we saw Nate Morse in motion, the Tigers really utilizing the, I guess you could say, the ability to move pre-snap, I guess you could say. I don't really know how to word that, but the Tigers pre-snap are kind of just, they're really messing with the Panthers' heads, and that obviously has an effect mentally on the Panthers. And we have a 2nd and long here, but it makes you wonder what are the Tigers going to pull out of their pocket this time around? They have weapons all over the field.
And they throw a lot of motion pre-snap, sort of similar to what we saw last week against Raytown, but just a different way of doing things. Pass play coming, it's imminent. 2nd and 20. Locke heaving to the end zone. It was caught, but it was out of bounds. And then I think he dropped it afterward. The target was Nate Morse. Nycene Brewer looming in the area. And it's 3rd and 20 for the Tigers as the pocket collapsed once again. And Locke had to scramble out and try to make some magic.
And this is going to be one of those, obviously, on a 3rd and long, you want to pick up as many yardage as you can. I don't mean to sound like Mr. Obvious, but obviously that's the goal of the game. And I really like how Nicene Brewer's lining up on the outside here. We saw him many times run a simple post route in this situation, or just a little run over the middle, and obviously his speed, once he gets into open field, he is a dangerous weapon.
He's a big guy, too.
Yeah, and obviously we mentioned how he had a great game last time around, but watch him on this play.
3rd and 20. Tigers just need to really get into field goal position here. They're going to fire over the middle to Max Wisner, and it takes about 4 of them to do it, but he's finally brought down just inside the 20-yard line. And with the 7-0 score, nothing really worth risking here. The Tigers are going to bring out Troy Huffman, and it won't be necessarily a gimme, but he's made these before. I have faith in him. Kyle Girding to hold for him. Be about a 35-yarder if he can put it through. To the left-hand side, he stuck it in there. It's going to be 10-0 Tigers. And things look pretty good here for Lee Summit to start this ball game off.
Yeah, everything rolling in the right direction. Jordan, before that snap, I was tempted to, add in a little bit of information, but what I was going to add in was that Tigers, have a little different, setup of their field goal unit tonight. Alex Benassi is not in uniform. He's out there on the sideline. So they had a different guy on the long snapper, different guy holding. Alex Benassi really does it all in that, field goal department for the Tigers. They'll switch it one time, a long snap, one time he'll hold. And so obviously no break in the win there for the Tigers. Good as new, and 3 points on the board.
Well, and not only that, but 10 points on the board. And we're 8 minutes into this football game. Lee Summit looks pretty good to start the night off, I will say so myself. Huffman for the 3rd time now tonight being asked to kick off into the direction of the Panthers. Each time it's gone to Eric Avery, but been caught inside the end zone.
And if I was going to predict something, Jordan, I would predict that would happen again.
It'll go back that way, and just like the last couple times, a couple yards deep into the end zone, and caught back there for the automatic 20 yards forward. And once again, we'll see Nathan Rico march out there, and joining him in the backfield will be Eleno Alvarez.
And Jordan, I have a little suggestion for you. Our consistent viewers know that you like to call Landon Shepard Mr. Consistent. I have a name for Max Wisner. I don't know if you have one for him, but I would call him Mr. Do-It-All. He does basically everything for the Tigers. He gets in there and gets a ton of sacks for the Tigers defensively, and then obviously we saw offensively helped him get into field goal range with that little 15-yard catch. Well,
and not only that, but blocking and other things like that for the Tigers. You'll see him everywhere. They'll fake a handoff, fire over to the sideline, and well over the head of Gage Warren, who's been the target for those type of plays to this point. And I don't believe he has a reception yet.
And it makes you wonder if that Tigers defensive line is really causing stress there for the quarterback of the Panthers.
This is the best they've looked all year, in my opinion.
I know I'm 100% with you, Jordan, and the Panthers just looking panicked out there. And now 2nd and long, you might not be tempted to run the ball, but
they'll try to fake a handoff here. Keep it himself will be Rico. The ball popped out. The Tigers think they've got it.
And this is huge, Jordan.
As you would.
This is huge.
And it's Tiger football. How about that? They got back there in the backfield, poked one out. And Nathan Rico's bad game gets worse. He hasn't had the ball for very long in this game, and he'll have it for even shorter here as the Tigers regain possession right at the 25-yard line. How about this start from Lee Summit?
Seriously, Jordan, and I really want to know what Eric Thomas told his team before this game to get them fired up. They're out here, and like I said earlier, the Tigers are the ones looking like they're multiple games over 500. The Panthers, obviously, by a lot of sources said they were the favorite in this one, but the Tigers out here making the Panthers look like they're a peewee football team, and I mean that with all due respect.
I'm not sure that I would go that far. Of course, we want to remain fair here in the booth, but it has been one-sided, I will say, to this point. Locke and Johnson in the backfield. Locke rolling out to his left. Good blocking to this point from the Tigers. Fires one the direction of Wilson. Safe hands as he catches it for another 9 or so yards here as this offense keeps on moving. I believe it'll be called just about 2nd and inches for the Tigers.
Once again, another common theme we've seen this year is Tommy Locke roll out to either side. He's good at throwing across his body when he goes to the left, and whenever he goes to the right, he's good with running with his body, but he always seems to sling it in there, and Wilson is a common target that he likes to see, who usually lines up in the slot.
Tell you what, he's got a pretty good arm, and very similar to another Locke guy that's floating around out there in the football realm. Fires over to Nyseem Brewer. He'll get it down inside about the 5-yard line. So Nyseem Brewer's consistent streak continues for the Tigers. I don't know when the last time I saw him drop a ball was, but obviously it doesn't happen there, and it's another first down for Lee Summit.
And we see Max Weisner make his way onto the field, obviously. When you
hang on, I'm going to interrupt you here, as well as Bud Crawford and Lawan Miller to the offensive unit.
Oh.
They've got something up their sleeve here, just a blocking unit for Jalen Johnson. He tries to power his way forward. I think he got maybe 1 or 2, and that's about all that he will pick up.
And, I mean, I have no, opposition against that. When you're this close to the end zone, you just want to get your big guys in there and power your way through to the end zone, and that's exactly what the Tigers are doing.
They'll do it again here, trying to go around to the left-hand side. A couple of players diving in after the play there. It was James Williams on the final tackle.
And I wonder if we are going to see another run play here with Jalen Johnson, or if Tigers are going to try something different.
Again, it's a shock to me every time I see Lawan Miller on the offensive unit. He is lined up as a wide receiver right now on the right-hand side. I'm not saying it's impossible he gets thrown to here, but I would like to see it happen. Just over 2 minutes left. They'll fake the jet sweep. Landon Shepard makes 2 or 3 or 4 miss. I don't know how many it was, but touchdown Shepard. And what a run it was. You've got to be kidding me.
How often do you see a guy with Landon Shepard's body size? Remember, he's a big, muscular guy. How often do you see a guy as elusive as what we just saw there?
My goodness, that first guy he sent flying. I'm not sure if he saw the rest of the play. He might have just laid there in defeat afterwards. Once again, Troy Huffman coming up to kick another PAT. Splits the uprights just as we've seen as of late. And it's 17-0 Tigers. And the 2-5 team coming out and currently putting on a rout against the 5-2 team.
And, how about the Tigers coming into this game? They know that, for their seniors, this is their last game at Bud Hertzog Stadium. And, for all our viewers out there, this is also, our commentator Jordan Wood's final time calling a game in the Bud Hertzog Stadium booth, as we presume, as long as, something crazy doesn't happen with districts being played here or anything. But man, the Tigers out here, what a showing here in this first quarter. Still have, a minute 58 remaining in this quarter, and the Tigers are out here already with 17 points. That's basically just under half, of the points they scored last game in 35.
Once again, Huffman here for now the 4th time kicking off to the Panthers. We'll have to wait and see, but my guess would say that this one might touch the back of the end zone, as it has tended to here for Huffman lately.
Huffman might be getting tired. This is already his 4th kickoff, and we're still in the first quarter.
He also has 2 PATs and a field goal. And that one lands just inside the end zone. It took a funny hop. Had that one stayed out, that would have been pretty dangerous, because both of the returners back for the Panthers sort of turned and watched it go. That was Eric Avery and Gage Warren. And thankfully enough for them, it lands just inside that end zone. And again, 20 yards to start the drive for Park Hill South.
And now the big question, if you're a Park Hill South Panther fan, is can Rico turn the game around right now, and exactly when his team needs him? Obviously down 17-0 early, not even out of the first quarter. You got to get some sort of offense going, or this game is really just going to slip away from momentum to the Tigers. And obviously, I don't really know what the Panthers are going to come out with here, but what they've been doing has not been working, and they got to find something that the Tigers are unable to stop. Pass and run, Tigers have just been everywhere and not showing the Panthers anything.
They got to get a play off here. The play clock was running. They'll get it with 1 second left. And it doesn't really work out too well. It's stuffed again at the line of scrimmage. Tigers are all over every look that the Panthers have given them to this point.
I think the Tigers should wear these pink uniforms every game, Jordan.
There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but they have come out hot tonight, and nothing is getting past them.
They have indeed, Jordan. They have indeed.
Rico here fakes a handoff to Alvarez, looking to the left. Now fires one deep down the middle of the field, and several Tigers were in the area. That was Kyle Girding, Thomas Smith, as well as Caleb Manning. Manning was the closest one to it, and he was laying out and having an absolute gem of a catch from an interception there. But again, another play falls dead. 3rd and 9 for Park Hill South.
And great defending from the Tigers secondary there to avoid the pass interference penalty. And here we go on 3rd and long. Again, can the Tigers force a 3-and-out?
Rico joined this time in the backfield by Gage Warren, who's normally been lining up as a wideout. Warren just going to be blocking here. Miller got to him, grabbed an arm, but not able to get the full tackle. Pass was completed to the left-hand side. That was Justin Harrison on the grab. Flag is thrown. We'll have to wait and see what it was. I didn't quite catch where the spot was. I think it was just short of the first. And they're going to call it an illegal shift, thanks to the official evaluator up here in the booth, because I didn't see the signal. And, well, if penalties, if an illegal shift works the same as the others, then that's going to mean the Panthers have to back up a little bit here. And they were not too far off from a first down on that play, so that one hurts.
And the Tigers are going to decline that penalty, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be 4th down. The Tigers elected to decline that penalty, and obviously they're scrambling now, but so are the Panthers. And looks like we're just going to see another punt, and I don't see Nate Morris back deep to return.
I don't see anyone back deep to return. The punting unit is out there. I'm not sure if the Tigers think that it's a fake here or what's going on. But they've got the defensive unit just lined up as would be.
It was.
And it was a fake. Lawan Miller was the closest one there to being able to stop the play. And they'll get it up to about the 36. And I believe that that's the first time we've seen the chains move for the Panthers.
It is, and figures it would be on basically a trick play. Obviously, a fake punt is not a play you see very often. But look at you, Jordan, calling plays before they happen. And the Tigers obviously saw it too. They didn't have anyone deep to return, as we mentioned. But is that the momentum? Is that the momentum shift that the Panthers needed to get something going on this Tigers defense?
Well, I'll tell you what, if it is, it's got to be a pretty big one. Again, down 17, and we're under a minute left here in the first quarter. Things could get ugly if they don't make a big change here and do it fast. They'll fake a handoff, and that's not the change they're looking for. The ball fell dead. I believe that Rico was able to fall on it before anybody else. But I guess they got their wires crossed there, and that'll mean that the Panthers will take a couple steps back, 2nd and 12.
That's just something that we've seen all night long so far. I say all night long, but we're winding down here in just the first quarter. But the Panthers have just seemed just out of sorts. Exactly.
How about that?
Jinx. But yeah, the Panthers just seemed out of it and just not in line with what's going on, really. And they've really struggled to just play the game of football early on with penalties and all the other stuff.
Dropping back to pass. Rico looking right, looking middle. He's got a man. He's got space. He's going to get all the way in there. Touchdown, Panthers, out of nothing. Mudia Rubin was the one with the grab, gets over the middle, and the gap between Kyle Girding and whoever else was back there, I believe Brooks Ratliff for the Tigers, was just too big. He's able to find it, shoot through there, and put 6 on the board. And the Panthers have life here late in the first.
And should we say a buzzer beater, as obviously the clock hit triple zeros there. This will be the final play of the first quarter, but is that, exactly that fake punt doesn't happen, then that play doesn't happen, and that's just a simple route over the middle, and the Tigers were just caught off guard, and at that point it was a foot race, and Panthers obviously won it.
The PAT here up and through the uprights. So the Panthers now just down 10 rather than the previously seen 17 from just a moment ago. So it looks a little better for the Panthers, but still not comfortable at all. And when you're losing, that's going to be the case.
Yeah, and obviously the Tigers won the majority of that quarter, I would say. They looked like the better football team, and basically until that final 15 seconds that we saw there. But I think that was a much-needed play, obviously, for Rico, the quarterback. That obviously builds his confidence up, and now, his mind's a little more open. He said, hey, I just threw a 60-yard touchdown pass. I can do this, and that's exactly what you need if you're a Panthers fan.
Well, and not only that, but if you're a Panthers player, finally a little wind in the sails here is the first time we will see the Tigers returning. The first kickoff from the Panthers to this point in the game.
And we'll see if the Panthers make the same mistake that Raytown made last week of kicking the ball to Max Wisner.
I will mention the kicker for the Panthers is the same man who just caught the touchdown pass, Mudaya Rubin, as he takes the walk back here getting ready to kick off. And you mentioned Max Wisner, the deadly returner. Who knew, right? The utility tool that the Tigers have used all year, and I don't know that they would have figured that one was in the bag, but it sure is. That one was smoked back into the end zone. Morse will catch it and have no play to return. So the Tigers will start the drive at the 20. Now this is the first time we've seen this offense without stellar field position to this point. So things might look a little different here, and as you mentioned, this might be the momentum swing that the Panthers were looking for.
Exactly, and the whole goal there from the Panthers was to kick that one in the end zone. And in this case, if the Tigers are really going to put another 6 or 7 on the board, you want to make them earn it. You want to make them drive 80 yards down the field, and that's exactly what the Tigers are going to have to do. This is a test to see, what can we really do, like you said, when we don't have good field position.
Going the other way this time the Tigers are. Handoff here to Johnson going up the middle. He'll pick up just about 1 or 2 there, so good job by the Panthers defense to read that one and stuff it in the backfield before it really got anywhere.
Yeah, and obviously a little 2-yard gain there by Johnson, but the Tigers have done a decent job so far of utilizing Johnson and his strength as well as Landon Shepard's strength, and who knew Landon Shepard's elusiveness as well. But I think the Tigers might actually go to Johnson again here. Looks like Landon Shepard's going to be the one taking the snap. Look for an option here.
They'll fake the handoff. It'll go to Morse on a jet sweep. He's got some space if he can use it around the outside. Flag is thrown. Morse gets it to the 27-yard line.
If I was to guess, I would say that'd be a hold on the Tigers, and it is. It's a block in the back, I should say.
So the Tigers will have to march back a little bit. They didn't have a great stand here to start the drive, but it looks a little worse here being pushed back even further.
And obviously, it's going to be 2nd and long. We see Max Wisner leaving the field. The Tigers are electing for a little more of a speedy approach. It looks like they got Nyseem Brewer out there. They have Nate Morris out there. I believe they have Landon Shepard lined up in the slot.
Anthony Wilson on the far side as well. Johnson in the backfield. Locke once again at the quarterback spot. 11-14 left. Locke with a fantastic start to this game. We'll see if he can keep it up here. Snap. Fake a handoff to Johnson. He'll find Shepard. Shepard tries to duck back to one way, and the Panthers will wrap him up in the backfield. So the 2nd and 20 gets improved, but not by much, to about a 3rd and 18.
Yeah, that Panthers pass rush basically forcing Locke to just dump it off to Shepard. Obviously, you don't want to take the sack if you're Locke there, so it's a good play by him to just get rid of it. And if it wasn't for that Panthers pass rush, who knows? The Tigers have a bunch of speedy guys out there, as we mentioned. They can get in behind those safeties, but here we go with the 3rd and long.
Still Locke and Johnson in the backfield. The same receivers out there, just in some different spots. A lot of whistles blown, and it's going to be a false start against the Tigers. So They'll back up even further here, and it's going to have to be a Hail Mary and a half to get to that first down marker.
And Jordan, I think if you're the Tigers here, you might not necessarily even truly go for that first down marker. You just want to get as far as you can out from, basically where you are so you have room to punt. Remember, they don't have Alex Benassi available tonight, so punting may look a little different. They might try to, as much as they can, do that little pooch punt technique with Landon Shepard.
Shepard is lined up at the moment at the quarterback spot. Weisner and Morse, the two receivers. They'll pitch it out to Johnson. Weisner going to be the main blocker, but there's not really a need for him as somebody slipped in there behind, I believe from the defensive line. And Johnson is stopped at about the 14-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and 16. The Tigers are going to have to get rid of it. And this is a new one. Tommy Locke lined up at punter. Again, we mentioned Alex Benassi not dressed for this game. He's on the sidelines. It's going to be Locke back there ready to go. We'll have to see if he's as much of a surprise as Benassi is. He only gets it to about the 34-yard line, and then took a couple bounces back and goes out of bounds at the 33.
And obviously Tommy Locke, that one, he had to get rid of that quickly. Panther was able to get in there quickly and almost block that one. But what we've seen early on in this game is these offenses are getting pinned down, basically in their own 20-yard line, and then they have to punt from deep. And the other team's getting really good field position, as we see here. And obviously the Tigers were able to take advantage, and they were able to put 17 points up in the first quarter. And the Panthers now are exactly where they want to be to get closer in this one.
Rico's going to keep it himself. This is the same play he fumbled on earlier, but he's got space this time. This is no fumble, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get it all the way down inside the 10-yard line and run it out at about the 6. And I'll tell you one thing, defenses play a lot more confident when they've got good field position. But whenever they don't, things look a lot different. And again, a play he fumbles on earlier that the Tigers are all over. And this one a much different result here, a flag thrown.
That's a really late flag, Jordan.
It's either a really late one or a really early one. It's something on the Tigers. I didn't quite catch the signal, but regardless.
And, man, Jordan, this game has changed. Here we go. The Panthers with a chance to make this one score with either a field goal or a touchdown. Obviously, the way they've looked this drive, it looks like they might get in the end zone, but
handoff here will go to Alvarez. Tigers are all over that one. I believe that was, who was that? That was Bud Crawford in the backfield that grabbed him. Big Bud, a good job reading the play. They're getting in the backfield and stopping it. 3rd and goal from about the 9, or 2nd and goal rather from about the 9.
I made the same mistake, Jordan. They hadn't changed the marker yet on the field. I was about to say 3rd down as well, but it is indeed 2nd down from the 9.
Rico will fake a handoff, looking to pass right-hand side, end zone, and through the hands of his receiver. Gage Warren once again the target, and he's not had a good one to this point. It's either been overthrown, underthrown, or that one right to him, but through the hands. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 9, and again, that 9 that they've got to get is the end zone.
And if you're Warren, Jordan, you want that back. That's 6 points right there, and obviously with an extra point, that's a 3-point game if you catch that ball. That's one that you're going to want back all night long, especially if the Panthers are unable to get in the end zone on this play.
Still Rico here. One in the backfield is Nathan Hilsinger. Not Nathan Hilsinger. Regardless, timeout called. It was Dylan Love, the new man in the backfield. That's the fullback for the Panthers. And with the timeout, we'll take a break here, catch our breaths. We'll see you folks in just a moment.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors. It's back to school time, and at Academy, your favorite brands are all in play. Like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Crocs, Puma, and the North Face. Bring on the fun and get out there. Whether you're playing for the home team or perfecting your game at home, at Academy, we'll bring the fun to you. Buy online and pick up curbside or in-store and get free shipping on orders over $25.
Gear up at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Alrighty, we're back 17-7. The score still 8:30 left. The Panthers on the 9-yard line, 3rd and goal. They've not got too far to get there, but 3rd down and 9 is a long ways to go, and especially when the defense has their backs against the wall here, we're going to see some different looks.
When we talk about how just one play can change a game, how about this right here? If the Panthers are able to get in the end zone, it's obviously, there's probably a 3-score game. If the Tigers hold the Panthers, that's a huge momentum shift for them.
What a pass there. Rico was dropping back, got hit by McGovern, finds his receiver, and 6 more points put on the board for the Panthers.
And like you said, just a good throw, and to be honest, a really good route over the middle. Nothing really the Tigers can do about that one with the way they were lined up, but once again, just a great all-around play from the Panthers.
8:26 on the clock here, still in the 2nd quarter of play. And the Tigers, for the first time tonight, sort of look like they're scrambling a little bit. Again, a chance here for the Panthers to get it within 3, and it was dropped. So they'll have to try to run it in. And again, the kicker for the Panthers was the man who scored the first one. It was Mudia Rubin. And he's not going to be able to get anywhere. So it'll stay a 4-point game. And that one's got to hurt a little bit for the Panthers, knowing that you had that one that close. And you could be just a field goal away in this one. But instead, you're 4 points. And that's just, it's got to be annoying, I think, looking at it if you're the Panthers.
Yeah, and we see in big football games, like when I mean big, I mean college, NFL, at the professional level, basically, we see how little a missed extra point, or how, I guess you could say how big a missed extra point can really be in the long run, because say this game gets to the point where, say the Tigers are up by around 8 points, and, that means you have to go for 2, obviously, if you're the Panthers and you get in the end zone. So that missed extra point is actually really significant there. And that, like you said, that one probably hurts, and it's probably causing a little bit of annoyance there from that Panthers sideline.
The one plus side I could say the Panthers might take away from this one, the Tigers struggle when they're inside their own 50, but once they get across that 50-yard line, they've been a pretty deadly team all year. It's just a question of whether or not they can get it there. Again, they looked pretty good on their first drives, but they were already past that 50-yard line to start. So again, a different look that the Tigers are having to see here in this 2nd quarter. That one's going to be back into the end zone. Morse has no chance to return it. So the Tigers will start at the 20, and again, they've just got to get going a little bit. It's just 30 yards, and then they can get into their groove and feel a little more comfortable.
And I mean, I know it does sound weird that the Tigers truly perform better on the opponent's side of the field, but it is, I mean, if we had specific stats and specific facts to share with you all, that's basically what you would see. The Tigers do struggle on their own side of the field, as we've seen early on in this game, and they really do succeed when they're on their opponent's side of the field, as we saw in the 1st quarter with those 17 points that they put on the board.
Locke back out there ready to pass again, rolling out to his right. A little pressure behind him. He heaves one up way downfield. Morse turned to try to find it, and it's over his head and drops. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Tigers at the 20.
And Nyseem Brewer did seem to have maybe a little separation on this near side of the field, as it looks like he might, he's going to go off the field right now, so we won't see him on this play. But we do have Landon Shepard lined up out wide, and it looks like Nate Morse is going to line up out wide as well. So that's, I guess you could say, 2 different targets.
Shepard here at quarterback, Lawan Miller and Jalen Johnson joining him in the backfield. It'll be a little pitch to Johnson. Miller trying to block for him. Loses control of him, but still about a 5-yard gain for Johnson. Does quite a bit with not a lot to work with there. So we saw him come out red hot on the first couple of drives. Johnson was picking up solid 8, 9-yard, 10, 11-yard runs. But again, when you're back inside your own 50, there's a different feeling to it, and Johnson's not quite been the same. Locke, the lone man in the backfield here, 3rd and 5. 5 receivers, rather, to choose from. He's got a lot of options and a lot of targets. That one was hit up in the air. Great coverage on the pass to Shepard. The defensive back in there on the play was Jamari Westbrook, and he got a lot of it. Nobody able to fall on it, though, as it was batted up into the air.
Great defending from the Panthers, and obviously the Tigers pretty fortunate there that that one wasn't worse for them. Like you said, that ball popped up in the air, and anything can happen at that point. But let's see if Tommy Locke can, force this punt deeper than he did the last one.
4th and 5 here. Locke will punt. It's a high one. It's caught at about the 45, and fair caught at the 45. What I will say with Locke being the punter here for the Tigers tonight, that opens up a lot of opportunity for him to pass out of those types of plays. I'm not sure that that's exactly what we'll see if called upon, but it's an interesting thought, and it's open for the Tigers for sure tonight.
And I didn't even think about that, Jordan. That's a great point by you. Locke, obviously a pretty big arm. He can throw the ball in the air. Let's just say he can throw the ball pretty far. Let's just put it at that.
Even when you're pinned back that extra little bit of yardage for having to punt, if you're faking the punt there and you're backed up as the punter, then he can still let one fly, that's for sure. Handoff here goes around the outside. Alvarez stiff arms one away, and he's going to get the first down there for the Panthers, who are finally getting the gears turning a little bit here. That one taken all the way up to about the 44-yard line in Tiger territory.
And I will say the team in white and purple has definitely awakened. They've definitely woke up, and we have a football game now. And obviously the Panthers on the Tiger side of the field.
Here's Rico dropping back to pass over the middle, and again low for his target, Justin Harrison that time. And a little correction on my last call. That was not a first down on the run by Alvarez. 3rd and about 2 feet or a foot or a yard or however close it is. They're not far from it, but again, it is 3rd down.
It makes you wonder what we're going to see here. If it is a run, can the Tigers close those gaps quickly and meet him at the line?
They're going to have to look alive here. They'll fake the handoff. It's Rico keeping it himself, and again, he's got space, and he's got 6. The Panthers are winning this ball game.
And how about the speed from Rico on that, man? He takes off. Look at that acceleration. That's going to be a problem the Tigers are going to have to deal with all night, it looks like, as he's obviously broke out for some big runs multiple times early on in this game. But, man, how this game has changed. 19 unanswered points from the Panthers. And I wonder if they'll go for 2 here, but they may not.
And this is kind of here where the Tigers and us in the booth here are included are sort of going, okay, yep, that's why they're 5-2. They've woken up a little bit here, and they were rattled at the start, but now coming right back and trading punches with the Tigers. Now they are the ones that are up 3 in this one. 20-17 our score.
And Jordan, I said earlier, I kind of insulted the Panthers and said the Tigers were making them look like a peewee football team, and I think they definitely may have heard me up here because they've came out and they've basically just completely destroyed the Tigers in this early 5 minutes of this quarter. And really, that we have 6:52 left in this quarter, so counting, the last like 20 seconds of the first quarter, there's been about 5 minutes of game time, and in that 5 minutes, the Panthers have put up 20 points. And like you said, that's why they're 5-2. They have constant offensive threat, whether it's, sending guys in motion for a little sweep, whether it's throwing over the middle those little check routes, or it's the quarterback Nico truly just taking it all the way to the house. This Panthers offense is, they're just like the Tigers where they have a lot of threats, and basically anywhere you look on the field, any guy can get in the end zone at any time.
They have been explosive. That was 20 quick points. And again, you mentioned it, 20 unanswered. This Tiger offense has fallen asleep just a little bit. They're going to need to wake up here and get some yards so that at least if they don't get to the end zone or get a field goal or whatever it may be, they're not allowing the Panthers such great field position to start their drives. Morse fields it at about the 5-yard line. He's got a hold of the right-hand side. Morse down the sideline is going to get it all the way past the 45 and into the 50-yard line where he'll finally jump out of bounds. But there's a flag down all the way back even with about the 18-yard line.
And they have already made the signal, Jordan. That's going to come back. It's a illegal block above the waist is the official ruling of it, but obviously a block in the back is how we all know it.
And that one's unfortunate for the Tigers. That one hurts a little bit. They had some space, and the block in the back is never what you want to hear. Oftentimes it's unnecessary, unneeded, and it just hurts. And it hurts right now for the Tigers as they're going to be brought back all the way to what looks like about the 8-yard line to start this drive. And for a team that's lost a little bit of their swagger that they had early on, that one doesn't look too good for Lee Summit.
Yeah, and the Tigers seem to be struck in kind of like a cycle right now where they get pinned back there on the kickoff and kind of, can't really do anything with their field position, and they just kind of punt it away, and Panthers get good field position. It's just kind of like an ongoing cycle early on in this second quarter, and that return from Nate Morse there would have broken that cycle as the Tigers would have been around the 50, but here we are. Like you said, the Tigers are around the 8-yard line.
I will say it's awfully similar to what the Tigers were doing to the Panthers early on. As Locke here hands it off to Johnson. The Panthers are all over it. They sniffed that one out. And once again, the defense executing for the Panthers.
And I wonder what the Tigers are going to try to do here. We've seemed to kind of stop seeing those little pre-snap motions from Nate Morse, Landon Shepard, etc. And I think we do need to see a little bit more of those, in my opinion. Kind of stop doing them, and we see how that's going.
The Panthers' corner and secondary giving a lot of respect to the Tiger receivers, a lot of gap in between them pre-snap. They're not allowing them to get any space here whenever they're going to try those pass plays. Tigers with another handoff to Johnson. He never actually went down on that play, I will mention. He's hard to tackle, but the forward progress does stop him, and the Tigers once again back inside the 5-yard line still.
Yeah, the Tigers opt to do, 2 run plays in a row there to try to get as far as they can out from that end zone, because now, see, on 3rd and long,
they're even back closer to it.
Exactly, and if Tommy Locke, opts to drop back and pass in that pocket, you're in danger of a safety there, and Locke, who knows, at the high school level how quickly some of these D-backs can get to you, and it doesn't look like he's going to be taking the snap. Looks like it's going to be Landon Shepard.
Which means we'll see a run here with Johnson to the outside. We've seen the same play several times. The Panthers still struggle to stop it. Holy cow, what a run from Johnson. We saw the same play 3 times in a row from that exact formation for the Tigers, and they still are able to pick up about 11 or 12 of the 13 yards needed there. And it's 4th down and short. We'll have to wait and see here. They may go ahead and measure this one out, and it's going to be close.
It looked good to me from up here, Jordan, if I'm being honest, but it looks...
Going to be just a little short, I think.
I thought that he didn't get a very generous spot, in my opinion.
And they gave it to him. Holy cow, what a play for the Tigers.
Wow.
What a run from Jalen Johnson. That was quick. He got those 13 yards there that the Tigers needed desperately. And finally, maybe a little bit of confidence. They got to get things rolling here. They were up 17-0 and find themselves down 3. What a turn in this ball game. Shepard here. Another handoff to Johnson up the middle. Oh my goodness, the ball popped out. And the Panthers, I believe, were all over it, and they were. This is eerily similar to what we saw earlier, and it's Panther football here. The roles have reversed, and this white and purple team that you mentioned earlier is white hot, Blake.
They are indeed white hot, Jordan, and man, this game, I still can't get over. This game changed in the snap of a finger. The Panthers with a chance here to go up, they could go up as much as 10. Assuming they just get 7 and they actually make the extra point this time. But wow, talk about a high-scoring game here in the first half.
It was 45-35 again last year. A back-and-forth ball game all the way. The Tigers again came out on top. Rico dropping back to pass, looking over the middle. A one-hand stab attempt at it by Gage Warren, and it's just a little too high and out of reach for him.
Yeah, that's the second time Warren's been targeted in the end zone.
Not only that, but the second time he's been wide open over the middle. He had time and space. It's just been off target once again.
Yeah, and if you're Rico, obviously sometimes that's just timing. Sometimes, got to have more reps in practice. But, I mean, I'd assume, we're at the latter.
5 and 2. He's got to have enough reps under his belt at this point. There's not an excuse for that one.
Yeah.
Handoff here goes to the left-hand side, to the fullback, and all the way into the end zone. How about this Panthers team? And how about Dylan Love on his first touch tonight into the end zone, and 6 more tacked on to that already Panther lead.
Yeah, and Jordan, I've always been a big fan of fullback runs, as sometimes, it often catches the defense off guard. Obviously, the fullback is usually, it's a pretty quick handoff from the quarterback, and like we saw there, the Tigers were just too slow to react, and the Panthers have completely turned this game around.
4:27 left. Here's the snap. They get it under control this time and put it through the uprights, so a 10-point lead. How about these Panthers? 5 and 2. They were down 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. A buzzer beater touchdown made it 17-7. And again, 27 unanswered points. They are rolling.
Yeah, and Jordan, seriously, they've scored those 27 points in about 8 minutes. It's about, that's basically a touchdown every 2 minutes or so. And if you're the Tigers, you obviously can't let that continue. And to be honest with you, they really can't let the Panthers get in the end zone again in this half if they're not going to get in the end zone themselves. But like I mentioned in the previous Tigers possession, they seem to be stuck in kind of a cycle right now where they just keep getting pinned in and are forced to punt. And obviously, without Alex Benassi, you can't punt the ball very far, and Panthers get good field position. And that's kind of, like we said, when the wheels were reversed, the Tigers were the ones getting, the greater part of that. They were the ones pinning the Panthers back near their end zone. And so hopefully the Tigers at some point can really break that cycle, because right now it's killing them.
Once again, now the Panthers ready to kick off. They're going to put this one back just far enough that Morse doesn't have a chance to return it. 4:27 on the clock. The Tiger comeback needs to start now. All the momentum against them. 8 o'clock here from Bud Hertzog Stadium. Tigers are falling.
They are, Jordan, and I think like we saw early on, they do need to try to, I guess you could say rebirth those pre-snap motions. They really were getting in the heads of the Panthers, I believe, from simply just putting Nate Morse in motion, because that's a scary guy to deal with. Oftentimes he loses his own shoe with how fast he is. And it looks like Tommy Locke's just going to simply try to throw this one, it looks like already.
Rolling out to the right-hand side. He was the lone man back there. He fired a dart to Wilson, who caught it and hit the ground immediately. 33-yard line where the Tigers' drive will continue. And they're going to actually mark him dead at the 31. That's an interesting spot, in my opinion. We might have to talk to the official evaluator after the half is over on that one, because he could tell me better than I could, obviously. Flag is thrown. Was on the near side, thrown sort of in the direction of Anthony Wilson.
And that's either a false start or an illegal formation there, Jordan.
And that's no good.
Landon Shepard kind of putting his hands up. I don't think he knows what that was all about.
And still the Tigers a little confused here, but you got to shake that off at some point and get back to playing football here. 1st and 15.
4 guys lined up on the left side, Jordan.
Again, Locke, the lone man in the backfield. That's exactly where he's going to roll out. Towards this side, he's going to heave one downfield to Shepard. He got 2 feet in. That's a catch in the NFL. So I think it should suffice at the high school level. Locke is down and a penalty flag right next to him.
And that's going to be roughing the passer. I think everyone in the building knows that one.
I didn't even have to see it happen.
And
I saw him pop up a little late.
Yeah.
And
just to the right of your screen for our viewers at home, it was indeed roughing the passer, a personal foul, and that's going to really boost the Tigers.
A lot.
Yeah, obviously a great throw, great catch. But look at that, a plus yardage from that penalty. That's just a mental lapse and a mistake from the Panthers. And here we go, Jordan. For the first time in a while, the Tigers are on the Panthers side of the field. What are they going to do with this possession?
Well, here we go. Lock in the backfield. Still just Johnson back there with him. Morse to the left-hand side. Landon Shepard and Nyseem Brewer, the two out to the right. Here's the snap. They'll fake a handoff to Shepard. The pocket collapses. He's got pressure right with him. He's going to have to fire one over to Shepard. What a pass, what a catch. And here goes Landon Shepard down the sideline and inside the 10. How about those Tigers waking up a little bit, trying to shake off the cobwebs?
And I want to say every game, but I think it's even more common than that. I want to say every possession, our viewers at home are reminded why my buddy Mr. Jordan Wood up here calls Landon Shepard Mr. Consistent. Obviously, the play before that, the nice 2 feet in bounds, that would have been a catch in the NFL. You only need 1 foot in high school, but obviously then there too, another great catch going up and getting it with 2 hands and basically just bullying the Panthers and just bulldozing his way closer to the end zone.
Going to be a timeout called here by the Panthers, or rather by the Tigers. 1st and goal for Lee Summit. When we come back, we'll see you in just a minute.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state. The Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut that one short. We'll come back to it in the next chance we get. But the Tiger offense is out there ready before we were. Locke ready to pass. Shepard over the middle. Touchdown, Tigers, for the first time in a while. And 1, 2, 3 straight plays in a row to Landon Shepard. 1, 2, 3 straight gains for Shepard. And now 6 points on the board for Lee Summit.
Great job by Landon Shepard, but we also have to give, obviously, a lot of credit to the quarterback, Tommy Locke, making some good throws on the run. Obviously got, hit pretty hard as he threw that one over the middle to the 50 to Shepard, but great hands by Shepard all along that drive.
The PAT up and through the uprights. The Tigers once again now within striking distance. And that seems strange to say again. If you're just joining us, I'm Jordan Wood, joined by Blake Heisey, Elena Twinter, the one on the camera for us tonight. And hopefully you've enjoyed our coverage to it to this point. It's been a pretty good football game from what I've seen. The Tigers started off the best they've looked in a long time. 17-0 was the score. And then just like that, a snap of a finger, a flip of a switch, and here come the Panthers. They scored 27 unanswered. And finally, the Tigers back on the scoreboard here, thanks to Landon Shepard, Mr. Consistent, and a couple of good throws by Tommy Locke. It's a 3-point ball game.
And now for the remainder of this half, looks like we got about 3:15. Can the Tigers maybe get a little more points on the board by putting the Panthers in the cycle that they were in? Can the Tigers pin the Panthers deep here simply by just kicking it deep into the end zone probably, and then forcing a 3-and-out and getting the ball back and get in good field position? We saw how good the Tigers offense are when they just get rolling, as we've mentioned. And well, let's see, hopefully Troy Huffman can boot one here.
And regardless of where this return goes, unless of course it goes past the 50, this will be the first time that we have seen the Panthers pin back that far since the end of the first quarter. Here comes a return for the first time tonight. The Tigers going to get to it a little later than they would probably hope. Ball dead at the 24-yard line. The return that time from Gage Warren. He's had a rough time trying to receive the ball tonight. But that was a pretty good return as Houston White brings it to an end at right around the 25-yard line.
And let's see, like I mentioned, if the Tiger D can step up here. Obviously can get pretty electric at some points, and we see Max Wisner. He's going to be lined up on the right side of that defensive line. And obviously that's going to be probably the biggest player to watch. if you're looking for a Tiger sack here.
We're waiting here. There's a little confusion pre-snap. A couple of officials talking to each other. We're waiting to see what it is, if they're going to give us any indication. Again, 2:42 on the clock. This has been quite the exciting football game. Not a bad way to spend a Friday evening. It's fun to watch in person. And again, we hope you're having a good time watching it through us as well. And we appreciate you stopping by. We have a good time bringing it to you, and we hope that you're enjoying watching it. Nothing wrong with watching a little Tiger football on a Friday night, in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously it's unfortunate that a lot of players, couldn't be, or I should say a lot of fans, aren't able to be here. I'm sure the student section would be pretty loud right now cheering on that Tigers defense, but obviously that's what we're here for, to bring you the game during these unprecedented times. And hopefully, as time goes on, we can get some more fans back in the stands as we were able to last week. Obviously, the increased capacity was approved by the county, and as you can see in the stands, there's a significant more, I guess you could say there's a lot more fans in the stands than we've been having up to this point in the season.
Not only that, but for the Park Hill fans as well. That's got to feel good to watch some in-person football. Handoff here goes to the outside. It's Alvarez, a stiff arm there on Lawan Miller as he gets pushed out of bounds, but another solid run for Alvarez. He's looked pretty good whenever he's got his name called here in this second quarter rather.
Yeah, Alvarez may be faster than Rico. He's looking speedy out there too, so the Tigers have to worry about him as well, as they really need to, if they want to get more points on the board, they got to get a stop soon.
Rico dropping back to pass here, looking to the right-hand side. He's targeting Thomas Smith. And Smith does a pretty good job on the coverage there. I don't think he was really needed. That one was overthrown pretty hard into the direction of Mudia Rubin.
Rubin did seem to have a few steps on Thomas Smith, but I don't know if it was enough steps.
Smith does a good job recovering, though. He got there by the time that ball was in any sort of area code of the two players there. As soon as he realized it's in the air, he turned on the afterburners and got there. Snap and a handoff to Alvarez up the middle again, and here he goes. Another first down for the Panthers, and all the way up to the 47-yard line. Boy, has this offense woken up.
It has, Jordan, and if I were just to guess with the clock winding down, we have a little over 2 minutes remaining. I would assume that this may be the final possession we see from one of these two teams if the Panthers keep this style up.
Dropping back to pass is Rubin once again, and that one's just dropped. I mentioned it before, and the rough night continues for Gage Warren. 3 drops and a couple of bad throws his way. He has got to be kicking himself over that one.
Rough night indeed, Jordan. As you've said, whether it's Rico and him being, not on the same page or simply the ball just kind of, slipping away from him, he has had a little bit of a rough night. Obviously,
he needs some new gloves maybe, or some new sticky gel on him.
He may need one of those, a pair of the gloves the NFL players use that basically catch the ball for you at this point.
They'll go to him here on the screen pass. He's caught it. Now he's passed for about a 10-yard gain. Penalty flag was thrown in the direction of, I believe, a block. So we'll have to wait and see what it was. Now that he's gotten his hands on the ball, he looked pretty good when he got it. But, again, it's been a struggle for him, and a hold is called against the Panthers. So that one's not going anywhere.
That is interesting, though. The coaches obviously value him pretty high on the depth chart if they went to him, right after another drop like that to, boost his confidence. And I like that from the Panthers. They're trying to, keep their players' heads up in a game like this where, it's probably going to be a pretty high-scoring game. We already have probably a higher score than some of the games around the Metro will finish tonight. And I like that play call.
You mentioned the confidence. If what we're seeing is just an attempt to boost his confidence to keep those targets up, it's similar to Steve Kerr boosting up Steph Curry at halftime, telling him you could be 0 for 30 and you're going to keep on shooting, and he loves it. And those targets keep going in the direction of Rubin. That one over the middle, a diving attempt, again, just not in the numbers to Justin Harrison that time around.
And Jordan, I said a few downs ago how it looked like this would be maybe the final possession that we'll see in this half, but the Panthers came out with 2 straight pass plays, and it's 3rd down now, and it's 3rd down and 11, and the Tigers, have a chance to get the ball back here. All they have to do is stop the Panthers on this play. And once again, watch Max Wisner on the outside. He's going to be pressuring as hard as he possibly can.
Again, 3rd and 11. 1:58 left here in the first half. Let's see how the Tigers do here on 3rd down. Rolling out to his right is Rico. Checks the pressure on him. That one slips through the hands. That was Austin Robb there that nearly had an interception, but a penalty flag is thrown not far from it. It's going to be holding on the Tigers this time around.
And that's a killer if you're the Tigers.
Sure is. They're going to get some free yards out of that one, and especially when it's 3rd and 11, a dropped pass.
And I believe that's an automatic first down as well.
Not quite. I believe it's 5 yards from the spot of the foul, so it's going to be 3rd and 1. And the confidence bar for this team just shot through the roof. They've got to get 1 yard, and they still got a down or 2 depending on how they want to play it if they don't get it the first time around. And for Alvarez, who's been cooking here lately, you like their chances, and they're going to get it. Another first down here for the Panthers. They'll keep the chains moving. And that one hurts the Tigers. Once again, the penalty flag coming out and biting them again.
Yeah, Jordan, looks like we got a minute 40-ish remaining in this half. And if you're the Panthers, in my opinion here, you might want to just look to get in field goal range. You don't want to throw something up and have the Tigers, force a turnover. Obviously, the goal would be to get in the end zone. You have 2 timeouts if you're the Panthers, but
Rico here passing over the middle, and again, just off target in the direction of Warren. 2nd and 10. And the passes just aren't there. I feel like maybe he's trying to put a little too much zip on it or giving his receivers a little too much leading space, and things are not going the way that Rico definitely is hoping for.
And I think if Rico has a favorite receiver tonight, it definitely probably would be Warren, number 9, in white and purple. He's been targeted way more than all the other receivers, and there he is again.
And another drop. That's just slipping through his hands. He's got to be frustrated. 3rd and 10. And the Tigers here, so long as they can stay away from penalties and stop the big runs, they've looked pretty good. But back there in that backfield is Dylan Love. And again, he broke away for a big one and scored the last time around, despite being listed as sort of that fullback position. They'll fake a handoff here, looking to pass. The pressure is there. And 2 forces in Bud Crawford and Max Wisner. If you're doing the math, that's a combined height of almost 13 feet in the backfield giving pressure. And all the way back to the 50 or the 49-yard line as Bud Crawford hit him like a tank. And he hit him hard and brought him down. There's no chance of getting any yards out of that one for the Panthers. They'll be marching backwards sorrowfully, and it'll be 4th down and a country mile to that first down marker.
Yeah, and Jordan, last game I asked you, what would you do if you had Jalen Johnson running right at you? Well, what would you do if you're Rico and you have Bud Crawford and Max Wisner charging at you looking to bring you down?
Quit playing football is what I would do.
Yeah, that's a scary sight, Jordan. That really is. Those are 2 guys that you do not want to anger whatsoever, and Rico definitely felt that one, and he, who knows, he might have got a little turf burn from that one.
Well, and look, if you're on the defensive end and you got Jalen Johnson running at you, you can step out of the way. You'll take the yelling at from your coach, but if you've got Max Wisner and Bud Crawford, there is no avoiding that one. That one hurts. He's going to be feeling that one for a little while, I would imagine. And Bud Crawford, I've never seen him move so fast. He was back there in the blink of an eye and brought him down with quite a bit of force. A low punt comes at Nate Morse, fielded at about the 10 or 15. He's going to do a pretty good job getting that one all the way up to about the 29. Look at the wheels on Nate Morse. Just over a minute left here, and the Tigers here, if they can hit a home run ball, this game gets a whole lot more interesting.
Yeah, obviously the Tigers down only 3 points, so, you know, if you're the Tigers, your goal on this possession is probably to just tie the game up going into halftime. Obviously, you'd love to get in the end zone, but the Tigers, let's see, they're sitting on their 29. They probably just want to get to around the 20. That's probably their target. Let's see if they can do it here. Tommy Locke's going to throw this one with 3 receivers on the right side.
Lone man in the backfield. He's going to fire to the left. It was behind Nate Morse and too short for Nyseem Brewer. 1:03 left, 2nd and 10. The Tigers, all they got to do here is avoid a turnover. And at least at that point, they're not looking at a bad situation in terms of this lead getting bigger. But if you can throw 3 or 6 or 7 back up on the board, then things look a lot better going into halftime for sure. Locke again, the lone man in the backfield, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He's dropping back to pass. The pressure is there, but he finds his target over the middle. I believe it was Devin Andrews that time around. Again, one of those players wearing a different uniform. Normally 23 for the Tigers, number 30 tonight, and picks up about 4 yards on the play.
I'm interested if we're going to see Locke try to roll out to either side here. He seems to throw the ball deep every time he does that. We haven't seen that yet this drive.
Here we go, pressure coming, rolling out to the right. You called it, he's got receivers way down there. He's going to run it himself. He's hit as he goes out of bounds, and there goes the penalty flag that I was waiting to see. That one was late, and they're going to get hit for it.
Multiple flags flying in from everywhere, every direction.
Got to protect him. That's the job, and they did it well.
And there's the official call, a late hit. And the Tigers' drive will continue.
24 and a half left on the clock. They've not got a lot of time, and they've got to get there if they're going to try to put some points on the board. And this one helps as everybody goes ahead and jogs about a quarter of the way up the field here to about the 48-yard line. First down for Lee Summit.
Here's the situation for the Tigers, though. They don't have any timeouts. And like you said, 24 seconds remaining in this half. They got to quickly get to the line of scrimmage and spike this ball if they complete a pass here.
Here's Locke to the right-hand side. It was batted away from Nate Morse and nearly picked off. And a sigh of relief there from Locke as that one flew in the air a little too long after it got hit away. And that was Hunt Lystrom in there on the incompletion. Troy Mosby, the one closest to the interception. But again, it goes out of bounds a little too quick for him to get there. 2nd and 10 now for Locke. Still the lone man in the backfield. Everybody knows what's coming. It's just a question of who can execute here. Locke's been good tonight. Rolling out to his right-hand side. He's going to fire to the direction of Morse. What a hit put on him. But thankfully enough for the Tigers, it's a hit that takes him out of bounds. So they'll save another timeout, which they have none of. And with 14.6, they'll get across to the 35-yard line. This isn't impossible for Lee Summit, and all they got to do is get a little further forward for at least field goal position.
Great catch by Nate Morse, obviously, and was fortunate to get hit out of bounds, but really not a lot of time left.
Fires over to the right-hand side, again to the direction of Morse. They caught it. The clock will keep going. The Tigers are out of timeouts. They got to scramble to the line here and spike one down. They're going to actually try to get a play off. 3 seconds left on the clock. They'll get it off. Locke will throw it to the ground. 1.2 remaining. And the drama continues here in the first half. I feel like I have watched several football games tonight. The momentum shifts have made this game feel so different from itself at several points in the game.
It really has, and I mean, obviously that's a textbook, picture-perfect competitive football game. And now if Huffman can put this through the uprights and this game
can have a restart,
and this game can truly be even at halftime, we are in for an entertaining second half, Jordan.
He's got a long one ahead of him. It looks pretty good from where we're standing. The horn goes off, and it's no good to the left-hand side. It was a long one. It was a tough ask. The Tigers are down 3 going into halftime. And, man, we're finally getting a break from the action here, but it has been a fun one to watch, that is for sure. We'll see you folks in just a little while here for the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Bud Hertzog Tonight the band will recognize selections from the show entitled Together Again, featuring trumpet soloist Zach Church.
So you weren't able to play baseball at all this week? Last spring? 2 weeks of practice and then that was it. That sucked. Ready to go. We're actually taking team pictures on Monday when they back there. Drum majors, is the band ready? The Golden Tiger Marching Band, you may take the field for your performance.
Tigers marching band is made up of 120 minors and military and members. Directors include our Mike Bain, Ryan Rickey, and Dick Crawford. The Gold Guard coaches are Laura Henson, Jeff, and Venezuela. The Golden Tiger marching band. These students have remained on the field at this time for the Golden Tiger marching band team. These students have completed 4 years of high school to the band program. Let's show appreciation to these seniors at this time. As they exit, the senior management will remember students on the field as the symbol of the marching hometown program while the members of the Golden Tiger marching band. The parents pick up their students as a symbol of the support they have provided their students while at this time. Let's hear it one more time for the Golden Tiger marching band senior class of 2021.
Alrighty, folks, getting ready here for the second half, not too far off from kickoff. Let's go down to Lauren Holdemeyer before we get things going here in the booth too far. And we'll get a little halftime report before we start running our mouths too much.
Thanks, guys. Early in the game, the Tigers showed us that they're here to win, but the Park Hill South Panthers aren't going down without a fight. Senior outside linebacker Austin Robb thinks the energy has been high throughout the team. But in order to pull out a win, the Tigers want to refocus and improve their defensive skills. Since the Park Hill South Panthers are 3-0 and first in the league, we'll have a very exciting final home game here tonight if the Tigers are able to pull out a win. This is Lauren Holdemeyer reporting for Tiger Broadcast. Back to you in the booth.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state. The Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
When it comes to painting the exterior or interior of your home, the decision is easy. Unique Painting, voted best in the Northland for 2 years running in 2018 and 2019. Unique Painting focuses on customers' needs and offers competitive pricing, going the extra mile to make sure customers are completely satisfied. In fact, when 810 Varsity needed a paint job this year, Unique Painting was the only phone call made. Visit anytime at uniquepaintingkc.com or call today at 816-500-7759. That's uniquepaintingkc.com, a proud supporter of 810 Varsity and Metro High School athletics.
What a game we have been watching to this point. Holy cow, back and forth, momentum swings every which way. We'll go ahead and give you a little flashback here. We don't have the replay to back it up, so hopefully you can take our word for it. The Tigers started things off tonight, 17 straight unanswered points. The defense came out reading every single play, it looked like, forcing stops, forcing penalties, forcing incompletions, forcing fumbles, and then a couple touchdowns and a field goal. Then after that, the roles reversed a little bit. The Panthers got going, scored a nice little light 27 unanswered to fire right back at the Tigers. And then just before the half closed out there, the Tigers were able to finally get back into the end zone, putting 7 more points on the board. That gets us to where we are now. Again, if you're just joining us, I'm Jordan Wood, joined by Blake Heisey, Elena Twinter doing camera for us tonight, and Lauren Holdemeyer giving us any reports down from the sideline. So that's the crew if you're just getting with us here to start the second half. And again, what a football game it's been. If we have anything like the first half, we're in for a treat here to finish this ball game out.
Did we mention, Jordan, the stat that we retrieved from the official evaluator? That second quarter was 50 minutes of real time. We're sitting here currently at
if you're keeping track, folks, that's a long time.
Yeah, and we're currently sitting second half kicking off at 8:47 p.m.
It's going to be a late one. Nate Morse will return this one from about the 4-yard line. Look at the speed to start this half off for the Tigers, cutting it back and finally being brought down at about the 34-yard line. Goodness gracious, he turned it on quick. I'm surprised by his speed even to this day. I've called Tiger football for 2 years now. and it still just jumps out at me. He shouldn't be able to move that fast. It's not fair.
Seriously, and he changes directions in the snap of a finger, man. He is so elusive. I don't even know a word that can really describe really, how quick he is.
The Tiger offense here, they, again, scored just before halftime and then missed a field goal to beat the buzzer. So they've been able to finally get the ball forward once again after their hot start earlier on. Here's Locke, a handoff to Johnson here to get things going. He's going to get it past the 35 and up to about the 34, or rather, sorry, the 39-yard line. That didn't make a lot of sense as I was saying it. 38-yard line. That's where we'll settle it on.
You sure, Jordan? Is it 38
I think so,
line?
yeah. Yep, the 38. Locke and Johnson again here in the backfield. Two receivers to either side, including Shepard, who had a fantastic drive when the Tigers last scored. Rolling out to the right, firing right to him, and picking things up where he left off. A little spin move to break a tackle, and across the 50 to the 47-yard line. I got it right that time, first try. No need to pat me on the back. We're social distance up here, so it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah, I can't really pat you on the back from 6 feet apart, Jordan, but I mean, I can try. I'll give you an air one right now. People can't see me at home. I'm giving Jordan a distance.
There's no need, but I do appreciate it.
A distance,
of course.
pat in the back. Pat on the back, I should say.
Morse in motion here to get the play started. Locke rolling out to his left, now having to cut it back. Met pressure immediately and then pancaked from either side. Gets things back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Yeah, that pocket collapsed very quickly. Tommy Locke really, that was his only option, to basically go in there and hope that, there was some sort of little gap he could run in through, but that pocket collapsed. And
Jamar Westbrook's gotten back there a couple of times tonight, and that's just one of them, adding to the already good night he's had pressuring Locke. He has been a nuisance for this Tigers offense to try to contain. Morse in motion this time all the way into the backfield. It's going to be a little pitch to him. He dropped it, and he's just going to have to lay on it here. No play going to resume after.
And that's really unfortunate there for the Tigers. Just seem to be a little ahead of themselves there. And now you're sitting at a 3rd and 15. They're back on their own side of the field. They did have really good field position. They were, they started off and they were pretty good and really looking like they were going to pose a threat this possession. But here we go now. Tommy Locke. He's going to throw, and I believe he may roll out, and he will.
I think you like their chances here. He's been slinging it well tonight. He's got pressure right behind him. Again, that's Westbrook getting to him. He's going to force Tommy to run it out of bounds here just around the 50-yard line.
And no late hit this time. No free yardage for the Tigers, and they're going to have to punt this one away.
They learned their lesson the first time. But again, Locke is the punter tonight with Benassi not being here. And they're going to actually bring out that weird unit that we've seen a couple of times, including Jimmy McGovern, Bud Crawford, LaJuan Miller, of all people, who had a pretty good run last week.
Just trying to get some more free yardage here, it looks like.
We saw him get it to work earlier on in the game, getting him to jump offside. And the Tigers are going to burn a timeout here very early on, not even 3 minutes through this quarter.
And I'm not sure if I really understand or agree with that, Jordan, but in my opinion, if you really want to just punt there, it's not really hard to scoot Landon Shepard back a few yards and just pooch that in like we've seen. You're already at the 50-yard line. You don't need more than truly like a 20 or 25-yard punt. But already, like you said, the Tigers down a timeout, and we're just not even 3 minutes into the second half, so we'll see if the Tigers can adjust to that.
Well, and in a close ball game like it's been tonight, that one could come back and haunt them just a little bit. As I was going to say earlier on before Locke exited the field, they do have Tommy Locke there punting it tonight, so that opens up for the fake to be a little more viable. 4th and 14, it'd have to be a pretty good one.
And if you see how the Panthers are lined up on defense right now, you see they're not really rushing Tommy Locke. They're ready for that fake and preparing for it.
Locke is going to go ahead and punt it. It lands at about the 28, and look at the bounce. That one was friendly. It looked like he's done it before, and it'll be down at the 14-yard line. So this is similar field position to what the Tigers were giving the Panthers to start the game when they scored 17 unanswered. And we saw a very rattled Panther offense. So we'll see if the Tigers can get things running here and try to pick up some of that same momentum.
Yeah, and obviously from the Tiger side of things, we'd hope that the Tigers would come out defensively as they did in the first half and really crack down on all those runs and passes. And we didn't see the Panthers successfully get a first down until a fake punt. So hopefully.
And that was the start of everything, actually.
Yeah.
They went on to score for the first time there. Rico going to hand it off this time. It's going to be Warren, the one that takes it. He tries a spin move away from the last Tiger to get to him, and it doesn't quite work out the way he hoped for. He's brought down by Brooks Ratliff, so about an 8-yard gain there, maybe 9. And actually, they're going to spot him ahead. Both of the spotters had different calls, and they'll go to the one who said he had the first. So the ball now on the 24-yard line for the Panthers and a fresh set of downs.
Tigers may be seeing some flashbacks from last week when they were unable to stop the run. Hopefully that doesn't continue here.
It needs to stop now. Warren tries to run it again. He's got space to that outside. It looked like they maybe had gotten to him in the backfield. Nope, slips away to the left-hand side, gets around the outside, and picks up 5.
Yeah, we didn't see Warren too involved in the running game early on, in that first half, but we've already seen him twice now on this first possession of the second half for the Panthers. Getting involved, he's pretty elusive and speedy. And I like the call from the Panthers coaches. If you should use, what you have, and that's a good way to use him.
This time Rico dropping back to pass. He's going to throw it to the direction of Smith, who's going to tip it away. Good job by Thomas to get there. And no catch that time into the direction of Rubin, who has a touchdown already. And I think it's interesting that they are playing Warren at that halfback spot because to this point, in my opinion, Eleno Alvarez has played a pretty dang good game. And especially in that second quarter, he broke away for some long ones. But, hey, maybe just a different look at it is what the Panthers were hoping for as they started to get stopped there towards the end of that second quarter after such a good start to it. Little pass over to the left-hand side. This one's caught on the bubble screen. Now switching the play all the way back around, makes Ratliff miss, and finally being tackled. And even after all that, only about a 3-yard gain there for Eric Avery. And a good job by the Tigers here. They're going to force it to 4th and 1. And they will go ahead and punt it here.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. We did see a fake punt early on.
And
that's a possibility here.
The Tigers are lining up for it. That's a good call. I think we could very well see it again.
Yeah, no one deep for the Tigers. Everyone is forward, all 11 players. They're expecting it. That's what we might see.
They are going to go ahead and punt it. They're just going to get it as far as they can. If they get a good bounce here, that helps. But it goes out at about the 31 in Tiger territory. And that shows a lot of confidence in this Tiger offense for them to be able to do that and just say, look, they can punt it away all they want, down it as deep as they want. We're going to have to gamble here that they don't go for it on a fake. And if they do go for it and we stop them, then good, we're in good field position. But if not, then obviously the drive continues. But, again, they don't go for it there, and it shows a lot of trust that you don't send even just one safe guy back there for a possible return.
Yeah, and I like it from the Tigers, though. Like you said, they have confidence in their offense. That's what you want to see, and obviously it boosts your confidence if you're the offense that they have confidence in you like that.
They'll fake a handoff here, it looked like. I think Johnson just dropped it in the backfield. He might have been the first one to it. There's not a lot of Panthers around there saying that they've got it. And indeed, it is Tiger football, but Johnson just, I guess, dropping the handoff there. Locke looked like he was ready to go ahead and do the handoff fake pass, and again, dropped.
It's the second time the Tigers have simply just dropped the ball in the second half, and the first time it kind of ruined their drive.
Locke here dropping back to pass on a screen. He's going to find Nicene Brewer. We know how these plays worked last week, and it's a first down for Nicene. How about that? 2 weeks in a row, it works just the same. Nicene Brewer, he gets going, and he is hard to tackle.
And he gets going at the most unexpected times. We saw Tommy Locke last week. He was about to get, basically just destroyed by about 3 guys last week, and he heaved it down the field to Brewer for a long touchdown in there. Locke looking, similar look. Looks like he's going to go down, and he just dumps it off to Brewer, who's able to make something out of it.
They don't do a traditional wide receiver bubble screen when they throw it a screen pass to Brewer. They go over the middle similar to a halfback screen. Here's a little pitch to Johnson. He's got a good burst of speed to the right-hand side and a pickup of about 7 or 6. Regardless, good yards there from Johnson. And going back to Brewer, we saw him a couple of times on those screen passes either get into the end zone or pick up 15 or 20 yards for the Tigers. And that's huge for this offense to have that as a fallback whenever you've already got so many weapons. Speaking of weapons, 3 of them to the left-hand side, 1 to the right, as well as the halfback Johnson, who they opt to go for here. And I'd say the Panthers were pretty wise to that one, stopping it in the backfield.
Yeah, the Panthers, it just seemed like they knew exactly where the Tigers were going on that play. All the linebackers shifted over, and Johnson just had nowhere to go. And obviously the Tigers pushed back to the Panthers' 49. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. And once again, Johnson in the backfield. And I wonder where the Tigers are going to go here. Landon Shepard's lined up on the left side. He's obviously a huge target, Mr. Consistent. You might want to look out for him on this play.
Here's Locke dropping back to pass. He goes to the right-hand side with Nate Morse. He's got the first down at the time of catching it and the speed to get away from several more of them. All the way inside the 20, and they're into that red zone. And once again, I talk about he catches me off guard with that speed every single time he gets the ball. And there he goes again.
Yeah, Morse seemed to almost be on the ground. You know, his knee was right above the ground, and he was able to get going to, you know, his full speed in a matter of just a half a second, it seemed like. And we see Max Weisner out there now. He's part of the offensive line on the left side. It makes you wonder, are the Tigers going to try to run with Johnson to that left side?
Here we go. Locke going to go ahead and pass to the right-hand side again. That one got away from Nate Morse. He's unable to bring that in.
And I think the Tigers, and I mean, you see this on all levels of football, but when you get around this area of the field, you really want to look out for your tight ends. Max Weisner is out there. Landon Shepard's out there.
And Lawan Miller.
And Lawan Miller, yes.
How about that? I don't know that I'd classify him as a tight end, but he's a big guy and he can block like one, that's for sure. So we've seen him run to the side of Miller and Weisner when they've done that. Here's going to be a little sweep to Nate Morse around the outside hand. How about that? Outside hand. And he's going to pick up about 8 on the run. So it'll be 3rd and about 2.
We're seeing Weisner on the top of your screen on the far right side. Landon Shepard's going to take this snap.
I don't know who has the ball. It's Landon Shepard to the left-hand side. He's going to get it to about the 10, and a flag is thrown.
That could be a face mask.
He was brought down in sort of an awkward way. The spot doesn't give him a first. It's going to be close, but we'll have to wait and see the official decision here to determine if the Tigers are living or not. It's going to be a horse collar tackle, and the Tigers are going to step a little far forward. This is a 3-point ball game, folks, and the Tigers are just about right there.
And I'll tell you what, Jordan, last week, we've mentioned it before, you know, on this live stream, that the Tigers really were hurt by penalties last week. Well, that's the Panthers this week. The Panthers have allowed the Tigers to continue drives by simply just giving them free yards, whether it's a late hit, whether it's a horse collar tackle, etc. The Panthers are really struggling in that department, and the Tigers, hopefully they can take advantage here. Landon Shepard once again is going to take this snap with Jalen Johnson behind him.
I will mention here, if they want Shepard to throw it, I was about to point out Max Weisner had a shorter guy on him lined up one-on-one, and then he jumped off. I believe a false start, on the Tigers. That one's going to hit Weisner, and so this 1st and goal is going to back up just a little bit further. But that looked pretty good there for a second if they wanted to target that. I would like to see him try to get Weisner one-on-one there on the outside with maybe Locke in there, see if he can pin one back in the corner. But they don't often send those two out onto the field at the same time. We'll see Johnson slide out of the backfield here. He's going to be lining up as a wideout here in the slot. Nate Morse on the left-hand side, going to go in motion to the right. There's 4 receivers that way. That's where Locke's going to roll out. He's looking to find somebody there. He's just going to throw it away wisely, as there wasn't a whole lot doing. 4:46 left on the clock here in the third quarter. Quite a different one from the others as we have no points on the board to this point. It's gone by pretty quick.
Yeah, and I understand why Nate Morris went in motion there on that play. You had Nyseem Brewer lined up on the left side as well, you know, a taller guy, and Morris was lined up with Brewer to probably confuse the defense, saying, why would you have Morris and Brewer on the same side, on the shorter side of the field as the ball's lined up on the left hash? That kind of gave Brewer a little bit more room, obviously, but Locke kind of was just running for his life there at that point, and so he had to, you know, he just had to get rid of the ball.
Second and about 10, second and goal, and another flag thrown. And there's a lot of clapping going on over here on this side. And that's the Park Hill South side, and they were right to do so. Tigers are going to back up another 5 here.
And the broadcast curse is real again, Jordan. I said how the Panthers were struggling with penalties and the Tigers with a false start and a delay of game to push them back 10 yards now. Just right where they were before that horse collar tackle pushed them even, you know, more forward up the field, and now here they are.
Not only that, but they've got to get to the end zone here on this set of downs. Second down and about 15. They got to get there. Locke rolling away from pressure again. He's got Brewer on the left-hand side, and Nyseem Brewer continuing his good form. Tiger touchdown once again. Mama, there goes that man. Holy cow, Nyseem Brewer.
And we've seen this Tigers offense, you know, struggle to put a lot of points on the board. However, last game, Raytown, they put up 35 points when Nyseem Brewer was very involved, and now this game already in the 30s as well. Nyseem Brewer, like you said, in good form.
The secret key to this Tiger offense, it would seem. 31 points put up by the Tigers here. We're in just the third quarter. And oh my goodness, what a football game this has been. We'll give you the full recap whenever we've got a little more time. But this one has been something special, that is for sure.
Man, Jordan, I mean, Nyseem Brewer, he's always doing something out of nothing. Tommy Locke, it looked like he was going to get stuffed. And once again,
he was dead in the water in the backfield.
And he rolled out, and once again, I don't know how Tommy Locke does it. He just slings it across his body with ease. And it was a perfect throw to Nyseem where he could just put up the two hands and brought it down.
There. As the great Kyle Cumberland once said, he put the biscuit in the basket on that one. A touchdown for the Tigers. 7 points after the Huffman PAT. And it feels good to say it once again, the Tigers are back on top.
And I will mention to our buddy Kyle Cumberland, if you are tuning in tonight, hope all is well with you. As me and Jordan have, you know, we've learned a lot of quotes from the great Kyle Cumberland, like the biscuit in the basket. Well, let's see. Hopefully Troy Huffman, I'd assume he's just going to blast this one deep and hope to pin in the Panthers.
He is going to do so, putting it all the way back to the about 3-yard line. That's where it's picked up. And not much of a chance to really return it farther than it would have been on a touchback anyways. They'll get it to about the 21, and the Tigers special teams is all over it.
Great job by the Tigers special teams. And it looks like the ball is going to be at the 21-yard line officially, as it says on the scoreboard, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. A little less scoring in this quarter than we had in the first 2 quarters, Jordan. But obviously this quarter's still been pretty eventful, as we've actually seen, obviously, just like I said, with less scoring, we've seen way more defense this quarter. And this is really going to, I think this is going to be a pretty close football game, Jordan.
1st and 10. I hope it stays the same way. This has been an entertaining one, that's for sure. And again, we hope for the Tigers to be able to close this one out. Again, that's our bias as students here, but it's been a good one, and it's nice to see the Tigers on top here.
And we should also mention, Jordan, that if this is the last game played at Bud Hertzog Stadium this year, this will also be the last time we're calling a game from the press box we're currently in. Plans, obviously, with the bond passed over the summer to build a new press box.
As about 4 Tigers jump off sides there. Going back to the press box, you guys will finally be able to see the full end zone. How about that? And maybe a little bit better connection as well. We're in sort of a concrete box up here, and because of the windows, we can't move them far enough for you guys to be able to see the entirety of both end zones.
We did improve it a little bit last game, though, Jordan. We were able to get a little more of the T in the end zone and on the left side of the field and the S on the other side.
Yep. Second down and 3 here for the Panthers. Rico here tries a handoff. I don't think that ended up going where it was intended to. I thought that the ball dropped there. It was, again, another irregular handoff. It was a little behind him, and I thought it might have popped out for just a second, and that's why he goes there to the right-hand side rather than the left where the hole was created. Sort of dragged him back and slowed down his run a little bit.
Yeah, with all the crazy backfield movement we saw last week with Raytown, this run game of the Panthers probably seems like basic stuff for the Tigers to deal with. Last week you had guys going in motion left and right, a fullback running one way, halfback running the other way, and this week it's just one guy in the backfield. So once he gets the ball, at that point it's just closing down the gaps.
Rico dropping back to pass, looking left, looking long into the direction of a Tiger defender who's there. And Park Hill South wanting a penalty flag thrown. Nothing there as Caleb Manning added a little bit something extra, but it was right around the time of the ball arriving. So I don't think it was necessarily poor for that call to not come.
And I'll be honest, Jordan, and this is not me being biased at all. I'll be honest, I think I understand.
Well.
I understand what the calls are for the penalty there, but I seriously, at the same time, don't think it was a penalty. Caleb Manning has a right to go up for the ball, too, and they simply just got there at the same time.
4th and 5. They are going to punt it here, and that one's going to hurt. You have a chance to pin the Tigers back a little further with no returner back, and they kick it about 46 degrees, I'll call it, pretty much towards the press box. And it goes out of bounds, and the Tigers are starting at the 49 inside their own half.
And Jordan, we've mentioned obviously many times up to this point that the Tigers are fortunate enough. The Tigers are pretty fortunate so far in this game whenever they start near midfield.
.247 left here in the third quarter. Tiger football once again. They got a chance to pad the lead a little bit. A little pitch here to Jalen Johnson. He's going to go to the right-hand side, lowers the shoulder into one, then hits a wall, gets pushed back, but the forward momentum is going to bring him across the 50 to about the 48-yard line.
And that's the difference that Johnson makes compared to other halfbacks. Johnson, big, strong legs. Obviously, if you could see the numbers, this guy's squat numbers in the weight room, you would be like, it would open your eyes, trust me.
You would be.
And Johnson's able to carry some guys forward for a few extra yards after contact for a nice little first down gain to trim down that 10 yards.
Hold on now here. Stop the press, folks. LaJuan Miller, other man
LaJuan
joining
Miller.
Tommy Locke in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff here. Hold on to that ball, LaJuan. He's going to keep on running to the right-hand side. LaJuan Miller, the secret weapon for the Tigers offense, keeps the line moving. And what a run, LaJuan Miller.
Look at that, Jordan. How about that by LaJuan Miller? We're sitting up here laughing.
My goodness. He's got 2 carries on the year for about 60 yards total.
Man, I love that.
How about that?
Look at that.
Obviously, the other halfback for the Tigers, normally Jordan Hemphill. And who knows, it maybe should have been a 3-headed monster this year between LaJuan Miller, Jalen Johnson, and Jordan Hemphill. Maybe in that order, looking at his averages. Goodness gracious, look at the speed on that guy.
And, man, I don't know. I wasn't looking at our streaming software, but that Tigers offense, man, they were getting excited, and the Tigers sideline was jumping up and down when that happened. Man, that was exciting.
That was a fun one to watch. That is for sure. Delay of game here. Maybe the excitement getting to them a little bit. They're going to be dragged back 5 yards, 1st and 15. And I can't say that I blame them. I would be pretty excited after a LaJuan Miller sneaker up through the middle. And another big gain.
And this is really, though, if you're the Tigers, you want to take advantage of that good field position here especially. You're up 4. A touchdown would be huge, putting that lead in double digits.
Anthony Wilson one-on-one here on this close side. That's where Locke's going to run it. There's nobody from the secondary anywhere near him. He's going to duck out of bounds wisely. We saw Locke break away for about a 30-yarder last week. with the game on the line for the Tigers. He needed a big run. He broke away for a touchdown, snuck it all the way in there, again, from about the 30 or the 25-ish. I don't remember exactly. The Tigers go on to lose that one by 5, but they were still in that game thanks to another big run like that from Locke. And he shows off the wheels once again. He's not known for it, but he's got the legs when he needs them.
And we see Wisner come into the game now. He's going to line up on the line, but we saw in the Tigers win over St. Joe Central about a month ago, Wisner catch a pass from this same kind of scenario. I wonder if he'll pop out at some point, maybe go in the end zone. It looks like he's going to block on this play.
It's going to be a handoff to Johnson going in that direction. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4, marked down at about the 11 or 12.
Yeah, when you have Max Wisner on one side of the line, I don't really see why you would run to the other side. Max Wisner, obviously a strong force. He's going to plow basically anyone in front of him.
And a 6'6" force at that. He's a big guy up there on that line. That's an intimidation factor, probably more than anything, for the guy that lines up against him. Locke, the lone man in the backfield, dropping back, rolling out to his right. He's going to run it again, hit hard as he goes out of bounds. That one within the rules of the game, though. He was, again, still inbounds by the time the contact was made. And he'll pick up maybe an extra 2 there as it goes up to about the 10-yard line. The Tigers got to step on it here just a little bit. 3rd down and 6. If they want 6 or 7 more, they're going to have to really get some yards on this one.
And Jordan, we probably should mention 28.6 seconds remain in this quarter. So if the Tigers are unable to get in the end zone, on this play, but it stays in play, I guess you could say, not an incomplete pass or anything, it probably will be the last play of the quarter. But look at Max Wisner lined up one-on-one on the outside, Jordan.
And Lawan Miller in there as well. They'll likely run it to his side. It's going to be Shepard on a QB sneak trying to get up the middle. They'll go right at the ankles. A solid tackle there, not letting him slip away for anything more. We've got 20 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. And 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, so the logical thing here would, be let the quarter run out and then kick a field goal in the first play of the next quarter. You're up 4. That would put the score, or put your lead at 7 if you're the Tigers, and that'd be a perfect start to the 4th quarter.
Well, and especially kicking it off, because the Panthers haven't looked too good whenever they're back inside their own 50, and especially not when they've got that Huffman leg putting them all the way back to the 20 or fewer. That's the end of the 3rd. We're going to catch our breaths here. It's been a lot of action. We hope you're enjoying. We'll see you folks in just one moment. Thanks for watching.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
$12 minutes on the clock for the final time tonight. 4th down and 4. The Tigers sending Troy Huffman and Kyle Girding out onto the field. It's Troy Huffman, the one that kicks them. He's been pretty good from inside 30 yards here the last couple of games. And the Tigers sure could use this one. Again, it makes it a 7-point ball game if he knocks it through. And in a game of such back and forths, you don't want to give any sort of momentum swing to the other team. They nearly got there and blocked it. They're going to signal that one good. I thought maybe he might have put it a little wide of the left-hand side, but I'm not at all complaining that he didn't. A 7-point lead for the Tigers. They finally are looking like the Tigers of the 1st quarter rather than the Tigers of the 3rd and 2nd. And they've got a little swagger back in their step here, and a welcome sight it is indeed.
And it's always great to hear our OTC shoot off that cannon every time the Tigers score, and obviously that one, it's a big one. Tigers up a touchdown now, and Jordan, can I say, with 11:56 left on that clock, we have a game upon us.
The chosen phrase last week, I can't take any credit for myself, given to me by a good buddy of mine, and his dad, rather, was the one that gave it to me. Shout out to Jake Jeffries, who called it a barn burner last week. I think it's maybe even more fitting this week. A high-scoring ball game. It's back and forth. Folks, for 2 weeks in a row here from Bud Hertzog Stadium, we got a barn burner on our hands.
We do indeed have a barn burner on our hands, Jordan, and I think the barn is almost burnt down at this point. Both these teams have so many electric plays. It's back and forth. It's insane.
Huffman's going to boot it back to the left-hand side. That's his stronger kicking side. It'll go all the way back to the end zone. And the race to the end zone is finished. I didn't quite catch who won it there from the Tigers kicking unit. There was a couple of contenders there. You'll see them do that every time they kick it off. I'm not sure if there's some sort of prize at practice or what goes on there, but everybody scrambles to get to that end zone to try to be the first one there. Just a little tidbit of information, not really relevant to the game.
Wise words of Jordan Wood. We love to hear your insight.
Of course, that's what I'm known for, my insight. Here's Rico handing it off to Alvarez, and here's Bud Crawford grabbing onto him and slamming him to the ground. Bud Crawford with a breakout year. That's his third tackle for a loss tonight, and a pretty good game to have a big game in and have your name called quite a bit on, I would say.
Yeah, and obviously if you're the Panthers, you're probably so worried about Max Wisner, the Mizzou commit. Well, there you go. Bud Crawford showing, hey, I can make plays happen too, and obviously a loss of yardage. Great way to start for the Tigers.
11:20 left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. 7-point lead for Lee Summit. Rico dropping back to press. The pressure is there. And finally tripped up. That's a good tackle put in that time by David Wang. And if he slips past him there, that's potentially a first down. And instead, what we're looking at is a Park Hill South 3rd down and 9. That tackle was big for Lee Summit.
Yeah, you can't really put into words how big that tackle is. We've seen how well Rico can run. And if that tackle isn't made, who knows how far Rico's going to go there. Great tackle to force a 3rd down and long.
Here we go. 10:40 left on the clock. Whistles are going to blow it dead. It's going to be a timeout from Lee Summit. And again, an interesting time to call one, but I'm not complaining. I'll put on the oxygen mask here, metaphorically speaking, in the booth. We'll see you in just one moment.
Whether we're rising to meet a moment or the moment comes to meet us, we make our mark by showing up for our team. And when we do, we build something special. We become something bigger, more than something that can be defined on a map. We become a community with a shared understanding that when we rise together, we rise higher. Community America, powering the rise of Kansas City.
What a ball game we are seeing right now. The Tigers at the moment cooking with peanut oil, sizzling down there on the field. 3rd and 9. The defense has been good. The offense has been electric, shutting down any chance for the Park Hill South to get any glimmer of hope here since about the 3rd quarter started. Park Hill South scoreless since their 27 straight unanswered on the buzzer-beating touchdown in the end of the first, carrying on into the second. Here's Rico rolling out to the right. He's got a man deep downfield, and what a catch! All the way downfield by Gage Warren, and finally turning it on. A rough game for him to this point, whether it be a pass off target or going right through his hands. But that's when you want to turn it on if you're Gage Warren.
Yeah, what a great catch by that young man right there. That's exactly what the doctor ordered, and that's exactly what Park Hill South needed. And look at this. On one play, they're already in Tiger territory.
Here we go, Rico. A handoff to the right-hand side. Alvarez hit as soon as he touched it. Lawan Miller. The dual threat, obviously the running back that teams are scrambling to get for at the collegiate level. Did you know he was a D lineman as well, Heisey?
I did not know it, but here we go. Jordan teaching me more as the game goes on. Lawan Miller can do everything.
2nd and 12. Miller lining up this time over there near the cornerback spot. An interesting place for him. They're going to hand it off here to the right-hand side, and Bud Crawford is back there again. Where has this guy been all year long? Holy cow.
Man, Bud Crawford should dress as Bud Crawford for Halloween.
He is
scary, man.
A scary
he is scary,
guy.
man.
I like that one, Isaac.
He tackled him, and he got up, and he did that mean walk over to the Tigers sideline. He said, I'm not having any of that. Stay out of my backfield.
3rd and 15. And very quickly turning things around here, flipping the switch, trying to look scary, just this Tigers defense. Dropping back to pass, no one in the backfield. Rob's going to get there and hit him as he throws into double coverage. What a catch! A penalty flag is thrown. It will no doubt be declined. Holy cow, what a grab by Moody Rubin.
Yeah, it's not often you see an offensive pass interference call and the receiver, defensive pass interference call, and the receiver is still able to make the catch. That's a fantastic catch. And just, let's see, with 9:17 remaining on the clock, so the Panthers have basically had, a minute or two of game time on this possession, and they're already knocking on the door. And
this is
really
nerve-wracking for the Tigers.
Just yards from the end zone at this point, and
if they can somehow force a field goal here, that would be excellent out of this Tigers defense, but it's a tall order. Handoff goes to Love to the right-hand side. Is he going to get there? No, he's stopped by the Tigers. He's going to be brought down right around the 3 or 4 yard line.
Tigers could really use one of those Bud Crawford tackles right now, Jordan. They really could in the backfield.
Regardless of who it is, they won't care who gets there. They just want it to happen. Flags, maybe not flags, whistles blown. There was a flag thrown over in the direction of Caleb Manning and Eric Avery on the near side. And it's going to be offside on the Tigers. So another little helping hand thrown into the direction of Park Hill South. And how about the play that got him here? Moody Rubin. What a grab. 2 Tigers all around him. Pass interference, doesn't matter. Catches it on his back. And because of it, Park Hill South knocking on the door here. Handoff to Love. No, a QB sneak to the right-hand side. And a touchdown for Nathan Rico. It's a 1-point ball game.
And obviously, if you're thinking, if you're the Panthers, if you make that extra point earlier that they botched, this game's tied right now, and you're kicking this for the lead, but instead.
And if you're the Tigers, you're hoping they do it again.
Yeah, obviously that would be very helpful from the Tigers side of things. But like I said, if they make that extra point earlier, you're kicking for the lead here, whereas now you're kicking for the tie.
Rubin, the one who got him all the way there, the one to try to tie it up. He's going to do so. It's a tie ball game in the 4th quarter, 34-34, regardless of who you're rooting for. This has been a football game to remember.
Yeah, and what a final game in Bud Hertzog Stadium for these seniors. This is a game that they're going to remember for a long time. Pink out jerseys.
Remember it longer if they win this one.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got a lot to play for here.
Pink out jerseys. You got the cheerleaders with their pink palms. It's a great showing tonight of just pink basically everywhere. You see some pink in the stands. And obviously, if you're the Tigers, you're hoping for a win. If you're the Panthers, you're hoping for a win. And this is one of those games that, like I said, you're going to remember for a long time, and you want to remember a win, like you said, Jordan. As this game goes on, you're going to have to do all the little things right. You don't want little penalties that's going to give the other team free yards. You don't want those late hits if you're the Panthers. They got to crack down on those mistakes. So we have 8:39 remaining in this ball game. Tie game, 34s apiece.
And if you're the Tigers, you hope that Nate Morse gets his hand on the ball here and a chance to return, because he has been very good when given the chance. But Rubin has been kicking away from him every time but just once or twice. It's going to be over in his direction. That one's heading towards the sideline. Morse going to catch it at the 10-yard line, just about on the seat of his pants. He's got space to the left-hand side, and he's going to get it all the way past the 30, up to about the 32-yard line. So number 25 rather than number 2. Nate Morse a solid return and decent field position for this Tiger offense that's been pretty good looking here in this second half.
And I just mentioned, all the little things, and there you go, Nate Morse with a good return, getting the Tigers, probably in the long run about 10, 15 extra yards. Obviously, that's what you want to see. And let's see what Tommy Locke can do here. He doesn't have a running back behind him.
8:33 rolling out to his right. He's got Morse on the near side. He's going to try to throw one to Shepard. It's short, and Love had a chance to dive for it and get the interception. That's probably and I say this in the best way possible, that's the worst pass Locke has thrown all night, in my opinion. And that says a lot about his game tonight. He's had a pretty good one.
Yeah, Locke stepped up.
For that to be one of the more dangerous passes he's thrown.
He certainly, he's had a very good night up to this point, and right now his team needs him more than they've ever needed him basically in the season. This would be a huge win for the Tigers.
And a big loss for Park Hill South if it comes out that way. Little pitch here to LaJuan Miller, and he's brought down in the backfield. There goes the good luck that he's had carrying the ball. The Panthers weren't fooled by it that time. I guess the Tigers and Coach Thomas hoping for a little more of that D lineman magic to get away. Unable to break the first tackle that gets to him. Third down and a long ways.
I think the Tigers should go to their other unlikeliest of heroes, and that's Nyseem Brewer. Always coming in when the team needs him and when it's unexpected. Right now would be a huge time for Nyseem Brewer to get a couple of yards for the Tigers and get this first down.
Speaking of time, just under 7:50 left here in the ball game. The Tigers need something big here. Locke going to have to try to run it. The pressure got to him. He's brought down. Another sack for the Panthers. Locke down at the 26-yard line, and things go from bad to worse as the Tigers have to boot it away.
Yeah, and Jordan Morse was running deep, and in my opinion, might have had a few extra steps on that defense of Park Hill South, but that pocket once again just collapsed way too quickly, and Locke couldn't do anything but go down.
There's no shot there whenever regardless of how far you've got to throw it, when there's that much pressure and you've got to get rid of that thing, it is so hard, especially with the pressure that Park Hill South has been bringing tonight. Snap a little low. Locke handles it well. Punts it to about the 41 into Park Hill territory. Here comes Warren. He's got some space and finally pushed out of bounds. A late hit there after the play onto the back of LaJuan Miller. No flag thrown.
Good return by Warren once again, coming up when his team needs him most. He's had some mishaps throughout the game, but right now, when it matters, he's showing up for his team. And if you're a Park Hill South coach, you got to love that from the young kid. And obviously now Rico, can he lead his team to the end zone?
Warren in his senior season, again, he's had a rough start to this one, but he's turning it around here in the second half in a big way for this Panthers team that has needed him. He's been targeted quite a few times, and the Tigers defense has been happy for those mishaps that you mentioned earlier. 1st and 10, they'll fake a handoff, looking over the middle. It's Avery with a catch. He's got space to the right-hand side. If he can get around there, he's got a chance to make something of it. A flag is thrown. We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
And Avery opted to run outside there rather than kind of just running at the Tigers up the middle when he caught that pass, and that might have actually led to a penalty, which would obviously help the Tigers out a great deal here as the Panthers getting very close to the Tigers' end zone.
It's going to be a personal foul against the Panthers. They're going to have to march it back just a little bit. And the Tigers need to capitalize on that one. A personal foul at any time is a huge help to whatever team gets it. And for this Tigers team that is trying to hold on to this game and not lose any grips of it, it's a tie ball game, 34-34. They need something big to happen here.
And I mentioned, Jordan, you don't want penalties right now at this point in the game. In Park Hill South, that one hurts you. You're that close to the end zone, and you're pushed back this far.
Pass will come over to the left-hand side. It's Warren with the catch. It's the Tigers defense. Austin Robb catching the ankle of Warren. And he's brought back behind the line here, so it'll be about 2nd and 12 for the continuation of these downs.
And Austin Robb with a big, strong hit there. He's always been a really good, hard-hitting guy. Puts a lot of tough hits on the opposition. And a great backfield tackle to make it 2nd down and 11. With
Just able to grab onto a leg there of Warren. And a big time to do so. Once again here, dropping back to passes, Rico. Max Wisner and the Tigers are going to get to him. How about that from the Tigers defense? That's not the first time we've seen it. They've come through when they've needed it most, a couple of big sacks, and there's not much bigger than that one right there from Max Wisner.
Yeah, and the Tigers are pushing the Panthers out of field goal range. Obviously now they're not in field goal range whatsoever.
Well, and it's 3rd down and a long way. All the Tigers have to do here is just get a stop on this play. They can't allow anything crazy. You know what's coming. They're going to try to get a big gain. All you can do is try to force it to be as little as it can be.
Yeah, with just over 5 minutes remaining, this is a huge play right here. The Tiger sideline getting loud.
3rd and 21, dropping back to pass. Rico looking left, targeting Caleb Manning, targeting Eric Avery, and a flag is thrown.
And
apparently Manning got to him a little early again.
2 flags came in, so 2 officials were obviously pretty convinced there. The Tiger sideline not as convinced.
That one looked about the same timing as the one earlier on where Park Hill wanted a penalty flag thrown. And that's going to be free yards for the Panthers.
And that one hurts the Tigers. It does. And obviously when you're 3rd and very long, you want to obviously make sure you don't give up any free yards on penalties like we've mentioned many times, Jordan, in the last few minutes. Obviously now it's, obviously they're closer to the end zone. They're possibly in field goal range. And the Tigers defense really needs to step up right now on 3rd down and 6 with just 5:03 remaining.
This play is huge for Park Hill South. If they can convert here on 1st down, things look bleak for Lee Summit. Max Wisner's not going to let it happen. He sniffed that one out and threw it away before Park Hill South had any chance to grasp onto any yards. And they're brought back out of field goal range, 4th and 10.
And how big have Bud Crawford and Max Wisner came up in this 2nd half? They are a huge part of the Tigers getting stops on this defense.
And they're going for it.
And they are indeed, Jordan. This is a huge play right here, man.
Fate of the game could be potentially hanging on this one. Just under 4:30 left. They're trying to get them to jump offside here early. Now they'll get the actual play call.
Play clock's winding down, too, on under 5.
They'll get it off. Rico looking to pass. Pressure coming from behind him. Looking over at Manning. Flags thrown again. Caleb Manning. Keep your hands to yourself.
Manning, I mean, that's, once again, the last one and this one, just getting there a split second early. And the way these balls are being thrown, the angles they're being thrown from by Rico, it's putting Manning in a really awkward position as a corner. You have to turn your back. And unfortunately, both times, Manning just getting there just a split second early. And once again, the same 2 officials threw the flags. And that's a tough one to swallow. I don't know if that is going to be a 1st down, I believe. And the Panthers getting closer now. And the Tigers possibly letting this one slip away. And I'll tell you what, if the Tigers lose this game, it will hurt based off all these penalties, Jordan.
3 straight in a row in the direction of Caleb Manning. That hurts for Lee Summit.
And if I was going to predict what they're going to do here, if they were going to throw to the end zone, they'd probably attack Manning again based off those 2 penalties.
They're going to run it this time to the direction of Lawan Miller, who's going to put a last-ditch effort tackle in there, a dive and a grab at some ankles.
And they were able to get him before the 1st down line. It's going to be 2nd and probably a yard, as it will be. It's going to be about 2nd and 1. 3:50 left, Jordan. And this one is really coming down to the wire.
Here we go. Rico joined in the backfield still by Alvarez. Tigers fans trying to make as much noise as possible, rattling the bleachers on the far side here. May not have much to do with how this play goes. Alvarez brought down quickly. A hard hit by the Tigers there, and not the first time tonight that Sohib Hamoud has gotten in the backfield.
Great play there, and obviously with our different times right now during the coronavirus pandemic, we don't have a loud student section for Lee Summit trying to propel this defense and, screaming as loud as they can. The parents are having to fill in that job right now, and hopefully you're maybe screaming into your TV from home or your computer, whatever you're watching this game on. But regardless, this is going to be a battle right here. Can the Tigers keep the Panthers out of the end zone? We're about to find out.
3rd and 2. If they get it here, they'll be 1st and goal. There's a hole for Alvarez to hit, and he gets it. 1st and goal for the Panthers. He's brought down around the 5.
And this is working out perfectly for the Panthers, Jordan. They're taking up a lot of the clock. It's getting closer to that 2 minutes mark. And obviously, maybe the Tigers actually were, if the Panthers end up getting in the end zone here, you almost wish they got in there. Because the Tigers, remember, they only have one timeout.
You're praying for a peanut punch if you're Lee Summit High School right now. They've not been a passing team when they get it in their 1st and goal. I would be surprised to see them start now. Rico joined in the backfield by Love. Tigers awaiting the play to start. They're going to run the play clock down as low as they're comfortable with. They're going to hand it off to Love. Tigers are able to stop it before getting to the end zone, but it's still about a 3-yard gain.
And who was it, Jordan, last game that was able to get a peanut punch for the Tigers? Who was that?
That was Osahano Bevwin, if you remember correctly, or if I remember correctly.
I believe you are right. Yeah, you are correct. I just couldn't remember who it was. But now that I've heard the name, I do remember it was Osahan. And, man, would that be huge right now. And obviously, as a Tigers fan and student myself, I hope I'm speaking that one into existence. The Tigers are going to have a goal line stand here.
They need it in a big way. Regardless of how they can get it, they will take a stop or force it to 3 points. Still 2nd and goal. Hand off to Love to the right-hand side. He got it. Touchdown Panthers, and they're up 6 points. And Bud Hertzog Stadium has fallen silent.
And that is what we call a crowd silencer. That is how you shut up the crowd.
That was the dagger in the heart of Tiger fans and players. And a chance to improve on it here to make it a 7-point. Oh, nope, they're going to go for it. I stand corrected. And they need this here because the Tigers will still have some time. It'd have to be a miracle. We're less than a minute left here.
Oh, they actually did not get in the end zone on that play, Jordan. They did not get in.
Gotcha. So 3rd and 1. I stand corrected. There's still time.
I was almost sure they got in. I could have swore I saw officials' hands fly up, but look at that. They didn't get in, Jordan. They stopped.
The Tigers stopped it. Oh, my goodness. 4th down and goal. There's 30 seconds left. Lee Summit needs to call a timeout.
Oh, my, and Jordan, you can't make this up. You can't make this up with how this game has gone. It's coming down to a goal line stand. And at this point on 4th down, if you're the Panthers, you're obviously going to try to take the lead and kick this field goal here.
And if you're the Tigers, you are praying, hoping, grabbing onto anything you can. You want a messed up snap here. We've seen it earlier on. You want a messed up snap, or you want just something to go wrong on this play to keep 3 points or 6 points or whatever it is that Park Hill South opts to go for here. You need something to go wrong.
And we've seen some crazy things in this game, Jordan. And I really hope in about 30 seconds from now something's going to happen, and then I'm going to have to pull back out Kyle Cumberland's quote of, "Do you believe in miracles?"
Do you believe in miracles? We'll see it here. They're going to go for it here on 4th down rather than trying to kick it.
Here we go. This is a goal line stand. The Tigers with no timeouts.
Nope, they are going to go for it. I got confused there. I saw Rico jogging out. He's going to be the holder.
Rico will hold. And here we go.
It's going to be Ruben to kick. He's had a couple of huge plays for Park Hill South. This would be the biggest one if he's able to get it. And he does so, splits the uprights, 23.4 seconds remaining.
And that really was not a good snap, Jordan. I don't know if you saw that.
A little low.
It was a little low, and Rico, the holder, got it down in time. And that is exactly what you want to see out of a holder in that situation. And this one, if the Tigers are not able to pull this one out, this one's going to sting. And you know, Jordan and I are up here, and we're kind of feeling the sting already.
It's been a disappointing year here at home. If they drop this one, it would be 1-3 at Bud Hertzog Stadium. It would make them 2-6 on the year, so the same on the road and the same at home. Neither one a pleasing record for football fans and Tiger fans.
And especially when the Tigers have dropped many close games this year. You had last week's game against Raytown. They were able to make the North game a lot more respectable, and that was actually a pretty close game as well against Lee Summit North. You know, Tigers have had a lot of close games. Their record is 2-5, and you know, if they lose here, it dropped to 2-6, but this would once again be back-to-back close games dropped, and in this case, it would be because of the late penalties. I mentioned how you have to crack down, and you really have to make sure you do all the little things right in games like this. And with the amount of penalties the Tigers, you know, gave up in that last stretch, that kills you, and that kills your momentum.
The Tigers need a miracle. The kick is going to be sort of an onside style kick to the direction of Landon Shepard. He's going to get a little return on it and run out of bounds right around the 38-yard line or so. The Tigers need something to happen here. 19.9 is the exact number on the clock. 3 points is the exact difference between these two teams. The Tigers with no timeouts. Park Hill South with 3 of them. It's likely we won't see any of those go away.
And I'd imagine we're going to see some prevent-style defense from the Panthers. That seems like the only logical thing.
And some Hail Mary-style offense from the Tigers. We know they've got the weapons. We know they've got the speed, but they're going to have to use it pretty well here if they're going to get anything out of this one. I stand corrected. Park Hill South will burn a timeout here. This is about the only time that they would likely use one unless they call for one later on down the road. But that would require some sort of big Tiger play. This is a close one.
It is indeed, Jordan. And
Butterflies are still there. There's still a little hope.
We will say again, 19.9 on the clock.
If anything, if they can get it into field goal range, bring out Troy Huffman, try to have him split the uprights here, that would be a big one. But
and then once again, you got to remember,
it's got to be a lot. There's not much time left.
Yeah, and you got to remember Alex Benassi, the typical holder or the long snapper. Whatever he does out there, he does multiple things. You know, he's on the sideline tonight. He's not out there, and so the field goal unit looks a little different. And so if you're the Tigers here, that's either your pledge or you send it to the end zone. But regardless, you got to get out of bounds or spike.
Here we go. Their file run over to Nicene Brewer. He's hit as soon as he caught it. The clock is going to continue running. We're down under 10 seconds now. Locke hurries up to the line. Here's the snap. He's going to throw it down to the ground. We've got 6.3 left.
And this
here we go.
This one's going to the end zone. And
this is going to be the last play of the ball game. And man, is it a big one. These seniors likely their last time here at Bud Hertzog Stadium. There's a lot on the line.
And Jordan, my freshman year, the Tigers were on the defensive side of things in this situation. They gave up a Hail Mary to Blue Springs. Maybe some other luck will head this way this time around.
3rd and 3, that's not really an issue. Locke dropping back to pass. Not a lot of pressure. He's got time. He fires one downfield. It's into coverage, and it's falling down and dead. Park Hill South has come into Bud Hertzog Stadium, come back from 17 points down, and the Tigers have fallen to 2-6 on the year. What a ball game it was tonight. Our congratulations go to Park Hill South. That's going to be likely the end of the year for us as far as football goes. We appreciate you joining us again. Signing out for Jordan Wood, Blake Heisey, Elena Twinter, and Laura.